Guys, what is good and what is going on, Ohio State Buckeye Nation? Your boy BLSG back at it again for another Ohio State Buckeyes live play-by-play and reaction. The second straight game that we are live streaming here on the channel in terms of the live play-by-play and reactions. We're back at it once again, ladies and gentlemen, after Ohio State beat down Western Michigan a couple weeks ago after they were on their bye week last week, their first of two bye weeks now. They're once again at home in the Horseshoe, taking on the Marshall Thundering Herd here today. This should be another one of those games where Ohio State should be able to get it done, hopefully around the third quarter, and they can start to put the backups in. But it's all business at the end of the day, and hopefully this team can go out there and get the job done. Shout out to everyone that's already coming through, ladies and gents. We have 3 people up in here already. Appreciate all you guys for coming through and tuning in ahead of time. If you guys have not done so, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to go ahead and hit the like button on the stream. Hit the subscribe button if you guys are new to the channel. And everybody be sure to go ahead and share out the stream so we can bring more viewers up into the chat. You guys know how we rock and roll as always. So let's get down to business. Let's go. We were a little late to start the stream, guys. That is my apologies. We had a little bit of technical difficulties here in the beginning. Not so much on the camera side, more towards the scoreboard side in terms of the internet connection. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are finally here now, and hopefully this game will get underway here in just a couple moments. MC, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming through, being the first one on up in here. So let's go, Buckeyes. Absolutely. Let's go, MC. Hit the like button if you're not done so, MC. Appreciate you for coming through the stream. My guy, Eagles. We got Eagles up in here. What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through, tuning in, and appreciate hitting the like button as well. Shout out to my guy, Eagles. My guy, Star Wars 99. Shout out to my guy. Another one that's been around here for a typical regular. Shout out to my guy, Star Wars 99, being up in here as well and hitting the like button already. Tomorrow's the loss for the Eagles. Probably. I mean, I haven't put out my game preview yet, but I'll just tell you guys ahead of time, I do have the Eagles losing. But absolutely, yeah, it's gonna be a tough game tomorrow, guaranteed. But at least we get to watch it. At least, you know what I'm saying? I hope we can get the W tomorrow, but it's a tough game, and we need to be a lot better than on Monday. Yeah, absolutely agree. 100%. Got to be better than what we did on Monday against the Falcons. Of course, you got to start trolling and say, let's go Marshall. Of course. At least the Phillies are in the postseason. Hey, shout out to the Phillies, man. Let's go. Either 1 or 2 more games. Like, the Phillies can officially lock up the division this weekend. I forget if they would have the opportunity to do it either today or tomorrow. Like, I forget when they can lock up the division, but they can do it this weekend if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely. Red October's here. You already know. Let's go. I know this might seem crazy, but the Phillies don't make the World Series this year. I want Rob Thompson fired. But, I mean, who are you going to have as your replacement as the manager of the team? Can you find a good replacement for Rob Thompson that another team might fire that's going to make this organization just as good? I mean, that's just the thing, though, in trying to fire Rob Thompson. Can you get as good of a replacement as him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Dave Dombrowski went ahead and put all these pieces together and even got some bullpen help, but especially with the fact that the Phillies are in a good position, but they still got business to take care of. So, absolutely, I agree. If Rob Thompson doesn't make the World Series, honestly, if he doesn't even win the World Series, then he should honestly be one of the first ones to go. I do too. I think Rob gets too much credit for all the things he does. He makes so many bad decisions, and yeah, if we don't make the World Series, then it's time to move on from Rob. Yeah. As much as it's painful to say, because I thought he was honestly a pretty good manager, but for the fact that he brought us short he came up short in the World Series against the Astros, and then had us get bounced in the National League Championship Series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So, yeah, you got to have Rob Thompson start picking it up, and has to lead this team, and he has to lead this team to the World Series. Putting Tyler Walker back in the starting rotation was a dumb move. I don't think they put him back in the rotation because they put him in there for like somewhat bullpen numbers, but he did still give up a good amount of runs. But hopefully, and I pray to God they do it, put him back in the bullpen. And I'm telling you guys, I'm absolutely telling you, if any one of the 4 best pitchers on the Phillies, so we're talking about Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, Aaron Nola. If any one of those guys go down, bring Colby Allard in to start for a game. Or even if they get in a big jam, any one of those 4 pitchers, if they even get in a jam, bring Colby Allard in, and he will do work. Absolutely 100%. That was pathetic. Walker Stinks can't be in the rotation. Exactly. Hopefully Ranger gets some runs, gets run support today. Absolutely. Got to get the runs stacked up. Got to stack up some runs. Yeah, for real. Hopefully the Phillies can grab the W tonight. Hopefully. And of course, again, Eagles says, let's go Marshall. Of course. But ladies and gents, we're about to go ahead and get this game underway. In the meantime, though, before this game starts, ladies and gentlemen, drop your score predictions down below into the chat. Defense for Ohio State so far this season has only given up 6 points, no red zone plays, 276 yards of total offense, and 1 play that was given up for 20 yards or more. Again, the Buckeyes defense has been very special, just as special as the Ohio State offense, too. And of course, our game has to be put on Fox with Joel Klatt and Gus Johnson, of course. Of course, our game's got to be put on Fox. I mean, why wouldn't it at this point? Here in Columbus, Ohio, in the horseshoe, looks like Ohio State won the toss, and they have deferred on for the second half. So we will see the Marshall Thundering Herd offense on first. Jaden Fielding set to kick it away, and here we go from the horseshoe in Columbus, Ohio. Starting out the touchback here for the Buckeyes. So Marshall will start out at their own 25-yard line, and here comes the Marshall Thundering Herd offense, led by their quarterback, number 1, Braylon Braxton. Or rather, it's going to be Stone Earl getting the start. So it's actually the backup quarterback of the Marshall Thundering Herd, because Braylon Braxton is projected to be the starter, and then you got Stone Earl as the backup, but turns out he's getting the start. So far for Stone Earl, 228 yards passing, as well as 3 touchdowns to 1 interception, and he will draw the start here. Marshall set to start here from their own 25-yard line. Stone Earl in at quarterback. Earl takes a snap in shotgun, looking, fires down the right side. It's broken up, incomplete. Try to get it to the intended receiver, number 8 here or rather, that's number 9. That's going to be Elijah Metcalf, and it's broken up, incomplete. A good start here. I do believe that was Davison Igbinosun. If not him, it was indeed Caleb Downs. But good start for this Ohio State defense. Already through 1 play. Second down and 10 from the 25. Earl sends the running back to the right. Earl takes a snap. Hands off. No, keeps himself. And the pass is caught, actually, by number 9 again, Elijah Metcalf, picking up the reception. But he will be short of the first down, so it'll be 3rd down and short here for the Marshall offense. Looking at the Buckeyes defense, led by JT Tuamoloau, as well as Ty Hamilton, and so on and so forth. Sonny Styles and Cody Simon are the linebackers. Igbinosun, Caleb Downs, Jordan Hancock, Lathan Ransom, and Denzel Burke, all in the secondary, all being coached up by Jim Knowles on the defensive side. 3rd down and short here for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Stone Earl set to go. Standing in shotgun on 3rd and short. Earl dancing, taking the snap, rolling to the left, fires down the middle of the field. It is caught. And another tough catch here, once again by Elijah Metcalf. And a 1st down here for Marshall. As the time continues to tick, not the type of start you wanted if you are Ohio State's defense, even though it is early. He had Ty Hamilton with an opportunity to bring down the quarterback. And once again, caught by Elijah Metcalf, and the tackle made by Cody Simon, one of the true leaders on the defense here. Just over a minute into this game, Earl takes the snap, hands off to the running back, going to the right. Running back's going to take it for about 2 or 3 yards, and that will be number 5 for the team. That would be A.J. Turner, taking it for about 2 or 3, so it'll be a 2nd down and long here coming for Marshall. 13.5 minutes remain here in the first as the clock continues to wind down. Ohio State looking for a stop here. Stone Earl back in shotgun at the 40. Stone Earl waiting for the opportunity, looking towards the sideline. Everyone's looking towards the sideline now. 2nd down and 7. Everyone confused. Now they're ready to go. Once again, Stone Earl in shotgun. Earl takes a snap, fires on the left side for a little bit of a check down. It's caught, picked up by A.J. Turner, who gets blasted for only about a gain of 3 by none other than the Alabama transfer in Caleb Downs. Another great play from this Ohio State defense that will look to take Marshall's offense off the field. Caleb Downs with a massive hit. The Alabama transfer as the sophomore was the true freshman last year. Was one of the best freshman defensive players in the country. 3rd down and 4 here for Marshall. Once again, Stone Earl in shotgun with the running backs lined up to the right with pre-snap motion from the left side to the right. And cuts back the other way. Earl takes the snap, looking, dancing, still looking, fires down the middle of the field, and it is caught. Tough catch once again. And this time it's going to be, they even have this man listed on the depth chart. It's going to be number 8 here. A little hard to tell to see who that was. Number 8, Brown makes the play here for Marshall. First play allowed in Ohio State territory in the last 10 drives. Here we go. Marshall set to bring it down the field. Stone Earl takes a snap. Earl fires down the field. It is caught. Ohio State's defense looking sloppy early on, and Jim Knowles and this defense better start picking it up, because this Marshall team is rolling into Ohio State territory. And Stone Earl starting out 5 of 6 for 43 yards. This defense really needs to pick things up. Already inside the 30 of Ohio State comes Marshall. Once again in shotgun is Stone Earl, waiting to take the snap. Ohio State with 4 defenders at the line. Stone Earl takes a snap. Hands off to the running back. The running back running to the left and still going. It's another first down for Marshall. So Marshall just driving down the field into Ohio State space, and that's going to be number 6, Jordan Houston. And Ohio State struggling on defense here early on, and this is the first play allowed inside the red zone for them all season long. So now Marshall standing at the 15. This defense has to wake up. The handoff again to the running back. That's Jordan Houston again, and this time it'll only be a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. It'll be a bit of a second down and long here coming for Marshall on the opening drive with under 10.5 minutes to play. This Ohio State defense better start waking up. That was only a gain of 2 on the play for Marshall. 2nd down and 8. Stone Earl looking towards the sideline. Wanted to line up under center, but he goes back into shotgun. Standing at about his own 19, takes on the quarterback keeper, Stone Earl, getting all the running room in the world. The ball is loose, and it goes out of bounds. Marshall gets absolutely bailed on a fumble that goes out of bounds, and it'll be 1st and goal for the Thundering Herd. Missed tackle right there by Sonny Styles. The punch out, though, by Lathan Ransom before the ball went out of bounds. And the ball was never in possession of the Ohio State defense. So Marshall gets away with one right there. It'll be 1st and goal coming up for the Thundering Herd. And it looks like, unless if it's a challenge, looks like Ohio State's going to challenge this call. See if they had a clear recovery. Possibly. I mean, I would assume that's what they're trying to challenge. See if they had a clear recovery before the ball went out. I think that's what they're trying to challenge. I mean, I could be completely wrong. But, I mean, we'll see. Ohio State's a better team. Absolutely. Going upset 31-28. A.J. Brown being out sucks. Yeah, that's going to be rough, especially going to the Saints Superdome where the Eagles have not won at their place since 2012. So, especially not going there and winning at the Superdome in a while, it's going to be a tough game to go ahead and beat. But we have to win one of these next 2. Like, that's a guarantee. Yeah, it does suck having Brown out, but we want him to play 100% healthy so we don't risk his injury to get worse. We still have enough talent without Brown on offense to win, but it comes up to the defense. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, Vic Fangio is another member of this team in question. Like, Vic Fangio, I don't know what game plan you had, but throw that game plan in the garbage and come up with a better one, especially going into the Superdome. Saquon should have not dropped that ball Monday night. I mean, I agree with you at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, I just don't understand because, like, that one I'm blaming on Kellen Moore because I get that Saquon is a solid receiving back, but that's really not what we brought him here for. Sure, you could say we brought him here to be an all-around good type of back, but at the end of the day, we didn't bring him here to mostly be a receiving back. We mainly brought him here to run the ball and help this team out and hopefully improve that run game. So, realistically speaking, they should have ran the ball with Saquon because at one point he was averaging 8 to 9 yards a carry, and at the end of the game he was averaging slightly over 4, and they needed like 4 yards for the first down. So at the end of the day, I know that we're all calling out Saquon for the drop pass from Jalen Hurts, which Jalen Hurts pretty much threw it on the money, and then Saquon dropped it. But at the end of the day, I just don't know why we're trying to throw the ball to Saquon out like he's running a halfback wheel. Like, I just don't get why we're trying to do that. Like, just run the ball with Saquon. You run it with him and he gets the first down, the game is over. Yeah, he needed that catch, but man, our defense just let them score. Like, come on, defense. You have to be better there. You can't just let them work up the field like they did. Exactly. Thank you. So, yeah, the defense has to step up. Let's go, Marshall. You already know. I agree we should have ran there. Exactly. Thank you. Or maybe they're looking at the spot of where the ball was going out of bounds. Because nobody had a clear recovery, and Ohio State must have thought that the ball just went backwards and before the marker. First and goal here, it looks like, though, for Marshall, but that's for the moment, unless they change the call. See if there's enough evidence to have it be short of the first down. Used him a line Brazil? Exactly. So it will be confirmed that the ball did go out of bounds, but it will be first and goal here for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Again, not a great start from this Ohio State defense. I mean, they need to be better than this. Like, you're letting Marshall go on a 5-minute and 10-second drive so far, and more than likely, unless you get a stop on defense, you're already gifting them a touchdown early on in the game. You better hope this defense can step up the rest of the way. Because boy, do they need to. Because this first drive from this defense has been absolutely unacceptable. And you have one of the best defensive coordinators in the game, and you're telling me that you're letting a team like Marshall drive down the field on you like this? Like, come on now. Stoner Earl set to go. Set to go in shotgun with the running back in the backfield. That would be number 28, Ethan Payne. Now we got Stone Earl lining up under center. Now he goes back into shotgun with the running back switching to his left side. Stone Earl takes the snap. Hands it off to the running back. No, he keeps himself. Stone Earl will not make it there. He's going to be a little bit short, sitting at about the 1-yard line, and it's going to be second and goal. Again, at the end of the day, more than likely, you're going to have Marshall come away with a touchdown early on. And again, that's where that Ohio State defense has got to step up. Have to step up. They cannot be letting Stone Earl, the backup quarterback to Marshall, drive down the field on them like what they're doing right now. And the running back takes it and is dropped for a loss. That's Ethan Payne running the football, and this Ohio State defense is trying to make a stand. They're sending everybody at this Marshall offense right now. It's third and goal here for the Buckeyes. Jack Sawyer getting the crowd fired up. Third down and goal. Red zone defense has allowed no red zone drives. I think they meant for red zone touchdowns. But here we go. They got the triple option set up with 3 options here. Maybe the quadruple option if they take it with the quarterback. Stone Earl hands it off to the running back who dives. And this will be a touchdown for Marshall. That will be Ethan Payne scoring the touchdown. And not a great first drive from this Ohio State defense, apart from the 2 stops that they had before giving up the touchdown on 3rd and goal. As you can see, they got the triple option. Ethan Payne diving over the pile and hitting the goal line, and that will be a touchdown for Marshall early on. So not the start this Ohio State defense was looking for. And the extra point is up and good here for the kicker. The kicker being Reese Verhoff, it looks like. As Marshall will be up early on over Ohio State with the score being 7-0. Can this Ohio State offense respond, and will the defense make up for it on the next drive? Currently it is 7-0, favoring the Thundering Herd with 8:14 left to go here in the first quarter. Not the best first drive that we wanted from this Ohio State defense, ladies and gentlemen. They have got to be better than that. I don't care which side of the ball it is. They have to be better on both ends. Like, if you're telling me that you're going to let the Marshall Thundering Herd walk down the field on you and score a touchdown, like if you're telling me that they're going to walk down the field and score a touchdown on you, I would have laughed at you. If they would have walked down the field and scored a touchdown in the opening drive, like, that's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm confident that Jim Knowles and this defense is going to bounce back, but this offense has got to respond. They got to respond in the right way. I mean, they just need to respond with 6 points on the board, plus the extra point from Jaden Fielding. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that this was a team that lost to Virginia Tech 31-14, but beat their opponent in week 1 45-3. So, I mean, sure, Ohio State's defense might be off to a bit of a rough start on the opening drive, but they better bounce back because I just can't see Jim Knowles not adjusting whatsoever to anything. But this Ohio State defense has to pick it up. And hopefully this Ohio State offense can respond with a touchdown here of their own. You have to hope that they can at this point. And then probably game of the day later on, ladies and gentlemen, where USC and Miller Moss go into the big house to take Donovan Edwards, Alex Orji, and the Michigan Wolverines. I mean, that's going to be a good game, but it's just going to be a lot of run plays coming from Michigan. You know it. Like, Alex Orji has not demonstrated the arm talent outside of maybe 1 or 2 throws in his entire career. If you guys did not hear, they made the change at quarterback to Alex Orji, and they have benched quarterback Davis Warren. Like, can you blame Davis Warren though? Like, you're still winning games with Davis Warren as your quarterback, and you're telling me you want to go ahead and bench the guy? Like, leave him alone after everything he's gone through on and off the field. Like, leave him alone. All right, 8:14 left to go here in the first. Kellen Moore needs to be better. Absolutely. You already know that Kellen Moore needs to be better than what he was in the game against Atlanta. Touchdown, let's go. Yeah, that might be your only touchdown of the day. I'm not even going to lie. That might be your only touchdown of the day, if I'm being completely honest. As the kick is away here for Marshall. It will bounce into the end zone. It will be a touchback, and the Ohio State offense will start from the 25-yard line led by quarterback and Kansas State transfer at that, Will Howard. As we have a flag on the opening kick, on the kick here towards Ohio State. Or do we? Hold up. Wait, so did they pick up the flag or what? So to be offsides on the kicking team, which should be a 5-yard penalty for a first down. So Ohio State might actually be starting at the 30. And we look at true senior Will Howard, who is one of 5 active players with 50-plus passing touchdowns as well as 20-plus rushing touchdowns. And now Ohio State will be set to start here on this drive from their own 30-yard line. Howard in shotgun takes a snap. Hands off to Henderson. Henderson only getting a gain of 2 yards on the opening play here for this Ohio State offense. As we take a look at this offense now with the offensive line of Josh Simmons, Donovan Jackson, Seth McLaughlin, Tegra Chibola, and Josh Fryer, with the skill position players of Quinshawn Judkins, Trevion Henderson, Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Ibuka, and Cornell Tate, in addition to G. Scott being the team's starting tight end. G. Scott Jr. in motion here for the Buckeyes. Howard takes a snap, checks it down. Here comes Ibuka. Ibuka's running with blockers in front, and Emeka Ibuka running down the sideline. Ibuka gonna take it all the way on the second play from scrimmage. Touchdown Buckeyes. And just like that, Ohio State answers with a bang. But there is a flag on the play. Come on, don't tell me you're taking the points off. Come on. The touchdown is good. Let's go. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. What a beautiful play here from Will Howard to Emeka Ibuka. Using him early on. Looked like a little bit of a wide receiver screen, pulling a trick out of Nick Sirianni's playbook. But this time, Emeka Ibuka takes it all the way with the blocker and Cornell Tate, the true sophomore. And the slot receiver, Emeka Ibuka, gets a touchdown here for the Buckeyes to tie this game up right on back. Jaden Fielding set to go ahead and get set up for the field goal, for the extra point here to pretty much tie the game up. After they were starting from their own 30-yard line, they answered quickly as the kick is up, and the kick is good for Jaden Fielding. And a great start here for this offense led by Will Howard. We shall see how this defense will respond. And can they get a stop on Marshall after Marshall scored a touchdown on the opening drive? But we have a 7-7 ball game in the meantime with 7.5 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Let's go, guys. Massive response here from the Ohio State offense, showing why they probably have the most dangerous offense in the country, if not one of the most dangerous offenses in the country. And Ohio State clearly shows you that when they have Chip Kelly leading this team as the offensive coordinator, and just the entire team that they have been building all offseason. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Just like that, answering with the touchdown right back. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Hopefully this defense has to step up, though. This defense has got to start picking it up a little bit. Come on. Does Nick Sirianni's got to be fired? Absolutely. Honestly, Star Wars 99, I'm not even going to lie to you, bro. Like, if this team starts out the season 1-3, like if they were to lose to the Saints tomorrow and then the Bucks next Sunday, I could see Nick Sirianni being gone before week 5. I'm not even going to lie to you. I could see Sirianni being gone before week 5. I'm being completely honest. Sirianni honestly might be gone before week 5. I'm not even going to lie to you. 68-yard touchdown for Emeka Buckeyes. This is the longest touchdown of his career. He just picked up the second longest reception of his career. Jaden Fielding set to kick it away here. Here we go with the touchback being the result off the kick from Jaden Fielding. And this Ohio State defense will look to respond. Only a 42-second drive from Ohio State. A 6-minute and 46-second drive for Marshall in 13 plays, going 75 yards for the touchdown. And this game is tied at 7 points apiece. Here we go. Stone Earl back in at quarterback. And we should have not fired Doug Peterson. I mean, changes were coming, but they definitely need to go find somebody. Stone Earl running with the ball all day long, taking it for a first down, but we do have a flag as Stone Earl with the quarterback keeper, and it is working here for the Marshall Thundering Herd. But we do have a flag, though, so looks like it's going to be on the offense as the offense is starting to move back. I think. And it will be holding against the offense. So it'll be a 10 or 15-yard penalty. It's going to be on number 65 here for Marshall. Number 65 being Logan Osborne. So he will be called for the holding penalty. So this will be the center, actually. Oh, yeah. Grabbing Sonny Styles. Thank you. No wonder why Stone Earl was able to run so much. But now it'll be backed up to a first down 20. So it was a 10-yard penalty, and now Marshall's back to the 15. Stone Earl with the snap. Throws it towards the left side. It'll be broken up, incomplete. Looking for number 80 here for Marshall. Number 80 being Holmes. It does not show him on the depth chart on what his full name is, which is kind of weird. Here we go. Second down and 20 here coming for the Marshall Thundering Herd. About 7 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. Once again, Stone Earl in shotgun takes on the quarterback keeper, and he is stuffed only for a gain of about 1 or 2 yards. JT Tuimoloau was in the mix of it. It'll be third down 19 coming up. So a third and long coming up here for this Marshall offense here. And this Ohio State defense is fired up right now after that opening drive that ended in absolute misery with a touchdown picked up by Marshall. Here we go, third and 19 from their own 16-yard line. Marshall with the ball. Stone Earl waiting for the opportunity. Now looks towards the sideline. Stone Earl set to go. Back in shotgun. Earl takes a snap. Earl dancing. Gonna run. Earl down the left side, and he is not gonna pick it up. He is cornered by a bunch of scarlet and white jerseys, and the Marshall Thundering Herd will have to go ahead and punt the football. Much better drive from this Ohio State defense. Let's go. That's why this is one of the best defenses in the country. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Or rather, the touchdown, flashing back to the touchdown by Emeka Buckeyes was 68 yards. And that's the second longest touchdown of his career. And a little bit of a drop kick here for Marshall, but he keeps on rolling inside the 25 at about the 23 somehow. And that is where Ohio State will begin the next drive. And Will Howard and this Ohio State offense coming up next. And hopefully Jeremiah Smith, the true freshman wide receiver, will have an opportunity to make a play. Jeremiah Smith starting alongside Cornell Tate and Emeka Buckeyes. And hopefully they will look to get him going, as well as Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins. But yeah, guys, massive response on both sides of the ball from the Ohio State offense and defense. Massive response on both sides of the ball. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go. And also, so far in this game, or so far throughout the season, Will Howard has yet to turn the ball over. So again, a good start to the season, though, for Will Howard. Shout out to the Kansas State transfer for coming here and looking at his best. Like, seriously. Man's been working his absolute butt off. I honestly just can't wait to watch Miller Moss go into the big house and hopefully beat the Michigan Wolverines. Like, Michigan is going to be so predictable. You can't tell me this Michigan team is going to look so predictable today. They're going to look like the most predictable team in the country. Like, every play, it's going to be quarterback keeper, hand it off to the running back, QB sneak. Every single play, that's what it's going to be. I'm telling you. They're going to have like 3 plays in the playbook on offense. Maybe checkdowns. Maybe that's like the best Orgy can do in terms of throwing the ball is checkdowns. Come on, let's go. TreVeyon Henderson so far with a carry for 2 yards. It'd be a good time to get TreVeyon Henderson going, as well as the other star running back in Quinshon Judkins. Speaking of Henderson, he is back in the game with 3 receivers to the right. Looks like 1 receiver to the left. The receiver to the left would be Ohio transfer, the former Ohio Bobcat Wilkeck Merrick, as Howard takes the snap, checks it down the flats to Carnell Tate. Tate going to take defenders with him for about a gain of 7 or 8. That'd be a second down short here coming up for the Buckeyes. Or to be a gain of 7. It looks like this would be a good opportunity for them to run Henderson, but they elect to pass it. Howard throwing it out there, and it is caught. That's going to be the true freshman Jeremiah Smith picking up the first down for the Bucks. And this offense going down the field pretty easily so far. Marshall trying to not make it as easy as it sounds. Will Howard so far 3 of 3 with 81 yards and a passing touchdown to Emeka Ibuka. Howard set to go in shotgun with Henderson to the right. Howard faking the handoff, fires it down the field. It's caught. Carnell Tate, who takes a massive hit, picks up the first down and will enter Marshall Thundering Herd territory. Howard with a beautiful fake handoff, and then the pass to Carnell Tate was money. Here we go. From the Marshall 39, Howard takes a snap. Play action, fires on the right side, going deep, and is going to be... It's hard to tell who's got it, and it's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Marshall. And the first turnover of the season for Will Howard comes on a tough jump ball taken away by this Marshall defense. He was looking for the true freshman Jeremiah Smith, who tried to come away with the football. But that will be the first turnover of the season for Will Howard, the Kansas State transfer. Jeremiah Smith tried coming down with it, but just couldn't, as the defensive back just took it away. It's going to be number 1 for this Marshall defense, and a big takeaway. That's going to be Josh Moten, and that is the first turnover of the season for the Buckeyes. Well, Howard, you got to capitalize on that. Got to capitalize on that, Will Howard. You got the defense running back onto the field. Can't be making those stupid mistakes. I mean, that's kind of what he did at Kansas State a few times. Hassan Reddick won't be back with us. I mean, we'll see at the end of the day. We'll see if he wants that in New York and for whatever reason comes back to Philly. But as long as they don't use him in coverage, then I'm fine with Hassan Reddick coming back. As the handoff here to Jordan Houston only goes for a few yards. And it'll be second down and what looks to be about 7 or 8. Here for the Marshall Thundering Herd, it'll be second down and 7 or 8, one of the two. The graphics are completely different. But here we go. Stone Earl set to go. Takes a snap. Fires on the left side. It is caught. Unbelievable. Are you serious, Davison Igbinosun? They're still fighting for the football to see who's got it. It looked like Igbinosun had his hands in there. He tried ripping it away. But the wide receiver was able to hold on to the ball. And this Marshall offense is just getting so lucky early on. Another first down 10. That will be Christian Fitzpatrick making the play. That'll be their wide receiver 1 at that. And Stone Earl taking it on the read option. And Stone Earl running with it. And looks like he has another first down. Unless if he's going to be a little bit short. So Stone Earl did start the game against Virginia Tech. So, I mean, it does make sense that he's starting this game over Braylon Braxton. I don't even know where he is at this point. Here we go. Second down and 1 as the receiver was short in Christian Fitzpatrick. Earl dancing, fires it down the field. It is caught by what looks to be the tight end in Toby Payne, but he is brought down immediately by Lathan Ransom. And that will be a loss of 1, so it'll be a third down 2 coming up here for the Thundering Herd. Marshall so far is 3 of 4 on third down. Stone Earl waiting for the snap. Needs to make sure the play call is right. Waiting for the opportunity. Play clock down to 4. Stone Earl taking the snap, going to run with it and finds the first down again. Are you serious? I would love to know what in the world this defense is doing. Like, can we have a better game plan, please? Stone Earl running with it, picking up the first down and tackled immediately by Ty Hamilton. This Ohio State defense could really use a turnover at this given moment in time. Under 2 minutes left here to go in the first. Stone Earl so far averaging nearly about 5 yards per carry. Stone Earl checks it down, though, to number 8. Once again, number 8, Brown here for Marshall. This will be a second down 7 here coming for the Thundering Herd. Only a gain of 3 on the play. Stone Earl now with A.J. Turner in the backfield on the second down and 7. Stone Earl sitting at the 42-yard line with the team. Here we go. Earl hands it off. It's going to once again be the same guy, A.J. Turner, and he is not going to pick up the first down. If anything, it's only a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. It'll be about a third down and 4 here coming up for Marshall. As you got JT Tuimoloau and Jack Sawyer on the outside who get absolutely clamped. But good thing the middle of the field defense is able to make the stop. Here we go, third down and 3 as that was a gain of 4 on the play. Stone Earl set to go. Starting out this game with going 8 for 10 for 60 yards. 40 seconds remain in the first quarter. This could be the last play of the first. Stone Earl set to go. Earl takes the snap. Looking. Dancing. Fires down the field. It is caught. Did he get the first down? It's going to be close. Did he get it? Oh, I'm not sure if he got it. I'm not sure if he got the first down or not. They're going to give it to him by a split second. He had the first down. I mean, did he really have the ball over the sticks, though? But anyway, that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Not the greatest quarter in the world from the Ohio State team overall as a whole, but it is only 7-7, and it is early here as we will head on to the second quarter with the tie ball game here in Columbus. But yeah, guys, not the best start for this Ohio State team on both sides of the ball. Defense looks gassed out there. Will Howard making a few poor decisions. I mean, especially on that interception, like that's no excuse. Like, well, Howard, you need to pick a game up, dude. Let's go. I mean, I get it. You want to get Jeremiah Smith involved. I absolutely get it, but don't throw it to him on a deep ball. I mean, especially with as good as Marshall's defense can be, like, seriously. Like, you can't be turning the ball over. You just can't turn the ball over. Like, that right there is no excuse. Like, you can't be turning the ball over. Penn State faces Kent State. Yes, sir. So far, Stone Earl in the first quarter goes 9 of 11 for 63 yards, no touchdowns and no interceptions. Will Howard going 4 of 5 for 95 yards with a touchdown and an interception, being the first turnover of the year for the Buckeyes. And I get it. You're trying to get Jeremiah Smith involved more, give him some yards to rack up, but don't throw it to him on a deep ball when Marshall's only held you to 7 points. I mean, sure, if you have the opportunity to take a couple shots downfield, and if you have like over 20 points or maybe like 17 points, sure, give it a chance, but not when you're being held to 7 points. At the end of the day, though, ladies and gentlemen, Ohio State's going to have to be better than that. They need to be better. Especially, I'm talking about Will Howard. Like, Will Howard, you got to be better than that. Like, I'm sure if you look back on the film, someone else might have been open. But dude, that one's on Will Howard. Like, what are you doing in trying to throw the ball down to a true freshman wide receiver in which you're only being held to 7 points in the first quarter? Like, what are you doing? Like, again, like I said, I know you want to get the man involved more, but still, like, you can't do that. Like, you can't force feed Jeremiah Smith. Like, you got to get your other weapons involved. Like we need Carnell Taken involved in here. We need Emeka Buka getting involved. No, you got all these great receivers. Get G. Scott involved a little bit. We heard that Will Howard loves his tight ends. Why isn't he using G. Scott? So they're going to say that Marshall's actually short of the marker, and they're going for it here on 4th down and 1. Ohio State looking to get a stop and bring the ball back in their possession and send Will Howard back onto the field. As the second quarter is set to get underway here, they are starting with the 4th and 1. They have to get to the Ohio State to their own 49-yard line for the opportunity at the first down. Takes a step, and he slips and falls. And it'll be a turnover on downs for Marshall, and Ohio State will take the ball right back. Stone Earl falls to the turf, and just like that, Ohio State will take over on downs. Yet as he went to run off the read option, he just slipped and fell on the turf. And just like that, a turnover on downs here for Marshall sets up Ohio State's offense. Here we go, boys. Come on, let's go. Well, Howard, let's not make a mistake. Let's not make that mistake again. Let's go. Ohio State will start from Marshall's 45-yard line after what looked to be about a 3 to 4 yard loss. Howard set to go, takes the snap, fires down the left side, caught by Judkins. The other running back, Quinshon Judkins, picking up the first down for the Buckeyes. And Chip Kelly's going like, you know what, if we can't use Quinshon Judkins in the running game, why not use him in the receiving game to get him involved in the offense a little bit? And Judkins will stay in the game at running back. So Trayvon Henderson will still remain on the sideline. Howard's going to hand it off now to Judkins, and Judkins is going to be stuffed. Really got stuffed. Looks like he went back to the line of scrimmage. I thought he had a gain of like 3 at least. But it's only going to be a gain of a yard. So, rough start in the running game here for Quinshon Judkins. Rough start overall in the running game for both the star running backs on this team. I mean, Trayvon Henderson and Quinshon Judkins both need to be better when they get their opportunities. Here we go on 2nd and 9. Howard set to go with G. Scott in motion, takes the snap, hands it off. Here goes Judkins, down the left side. Judkins, down the sideline. Judkins nearly makes it to the end zone, but it'll be 1st and goal for the Bucks. Quinshon Judkins, the Ole Miss transfer, with a massive burst of speed down the left side and into the red zone. As Judkins gets around the defense, finds a hole, and made it to about the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him at the 4. Howard with the pitch to Judkins. Judkins is stuffed behind the line of scrimmage. And great play from this Marshall Thundering Herd defense. It'll be 2nd and goal now for Ohio State after the turnover on downs from Marshall's offense. Second down and goal. 13 and a half, a little less than 13 and a half minutes remain. Howard talking to Judkins. Judkins going to line up to the left side. Clock continues to wind down. Play clock at 7. And a timeout will be called by Marshall ahead of time. But another great play from Quinshon Judkins off the massive burst to help out that running game. Just as we were talking about Quinshon Judkins, ladies and gentlemen, as soon as I start talking about him, on how he needs to step up as a running back, he puts on a massive burst and gives the Buckeyes the help that they need. Come on, Buckeyes, let's go. Let's go. Let's take the lead here over Marshall and come away with 6 points. Come on. The lineup is out? What do you mean? What do you mean the lineup is out? I'm a little confused on that Star Wars 99. I'm a little confused on what you're saying. Here we go. Ohio State looking to score and take the lead over the Marshall Thundering Herd. Here we go. Second down and goal. Howard set to go. He's in shotgun. Hands it off. Henderson trying to push the pile. Can he make it in? Did he make it to the end zone? He was pushing that pile. He is going to be a little bit short down at about the 1 yard line. They'll probably give it to him again. I mean, why not? I mean, you might as well. Get all the blockers out there. Get everybody out there. Now you got the triple formation. You got 3 backs in the backfield. Patrick Gerd joining the 2 running backs. And Will Howard's going to take it himself. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Make the official call. And it is a touchdown for the Kansas State transfer, Will Howard. Let's go. And it is an official touchdown for Ohio State. Will Howard taking it all the way in. Let's go. Had 3 backs in the backfield to help him out on the QB sneak, and he is in for the score. Let's go, Will Howard. That would be 2 touchdowns on the day. Let's go. As the kick is up for Jaden Fielding, and the kick is good. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Ohio State will take the lead right on back over Marshall with a score of 14-7 with what looks to be about 12 and a half minutes remaining here in the second quarter. There we go. Now this team is looking much better. Much, much, much better. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Here we go. Jaden Fielding set to kick it away. And the kick is away. And it will bounce down inside the 10, but that is going to be changed as the Marshall offense will advance up the field for the ball going out of bounds too early. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Marshall will advance up the field after the kickoff going out of bounds too early. It looks like it'll be about a 15-yard penalty. Or rather, they'll have Marshall starting out at what looks to be their own 35-yard line here. Here we go. Stone Earl takes a snap, checks it down to his running back. Looks like it's going to be Christian Fitzpatrick. He's going to pick up about 8 here. Rather, that's going to actually be Metcalf. It's going to be Elijah Metcalf here picking up 7 yards on the play. 2nd down and 3 coming here for the Thundering Herd. And they will be put at their own 42-yard line. Stone Earl taking the ball. He's going to be short of the 1st down, though, thanks to Ty Hamilton making the stop, and it'll be a 3rd down and 1. 3rd down and short coming up here. Third down and 1 situation on a 3rd down and short. Ohio State should be sending the house here. Should be sending, as of right now, there's 5 at the line, but there should be 8 going at the line. Here we go, taking the snap. Firing down the left side, Stone Earl. It's going to be incomplete. And a potential 2nd punt coming here from Marshall. And the Thundering Herd offense is heading to the sideline. And the special teams will come on. Let's go. Come on. Making them work for it. Let's go. Come on. And the kick is away here from the punter of Marshall. And the bobbled punt is picked up by Marshall, and Marshall's going to get it right back. A mistake here on special teams from Brandon Ennis, the punt returner. And Marshall will have an opportunity to tie this game right back up. And Brandon Ennis has every right to be frustrated after that play. Although there is a flag on the play here. You've got to be kidding me. Like, we really just let Marshall pick up a muffed punt thanks to Brandon Ennis? Come on, man. It'll be a 4th down and 6, so looks like they're going to redo the punt. So Brandon Ennis gets away with one right here, and we'll have another opportunity at another return. Brandon Ennis looking sky high, and he finally catches this one, and Ohio State and Brandon Ennis will call for a fair catch. So Brandon Ennis gets away with one after what looked to be an early turnover. But Brandon Ennis gets away with one, and Ohio State will take the ball right back on another offensive drive. Once again, 14-7 favoring the Buckeyes here with about 11 minutes remaining here in the 2nd quarter. But yeah, guys, Brandon Ennis got bailed after the penalty called on Marshall. So they had to redo the kick. They had to redo the kick right there. So Brandon Ennis got away with one after what looked to be a fumble. Turned out to be a retry on the punt. And now Ohio State's defense will end up back on the field after some early chaos. Goodness me. Whew, that scared me. Thank God the flag was on Marshall. Thank goodness. Come on, chat. Let me know how y'all are feeling about this game right now. Let me know how y'all are feeling. And guys, just so you guys know ahead of time, even though the game is at 7 o'clock, I would be able to do it. I would be able to do the game. It's just that I'm not sure if I'm going to have access to it because it is rumored to be put on Peacock for Saturday night, for next Saturday night. So I can do the game. It's just that am I going to have access to it? Like, that's my only thing. Am I going to have access to watch the game though? I'm able to do it though by all means. Alrighty, ladies and gents, here we go. About 11 minutes remaining here in the first half. And Ohio State will start this drive from their own 14-yard line. Will Howard set to go in shotgun with 3 receivers to the right, none to the left. Howard takes the snap, hands off, Judkins up the middle, and here goes the Ole Miss transfer. Quinshon Judkins down the sideline. Can he take it all the way? The answer is yes. Touchdown Buckeyes. Quinshon Judkins. Wake it up and pick it up right where he left off. The Ole Miss transfer. Putting it in for the score. Quinshon Judkins. Yes. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. A big hole for Quinshon Judkins, and you can kiss him goodbye. Woo! Oh, yeah. Quinshon Judkins. I love it. Most electric offense in the country. And the kick is up, and the kick is good from Jaden Fielding. And just like that, bada bing, bada boom. Ohio State now up 21-7 over the Marshall Thundering Herd after a big burst early on from the Ole Miss transfer in none other than the one and only either RB1 or 2, because they have basically 2 RB1s on this team. None other than the man himself, Quinshon Judkins. Let's go. 86 yards. 86 yards from the Ole Miss transfer himself. Let's go. Let's go, man. Come on. Let's go. Quinshon freaking Judkins. I love it. He very well could be RB1 for this team. And then Travion Henderson very well could be the backup, but would get a lot of playing time in a Chip Kelly coach system. I mean, it is just Marshall at the end of the day. You have to test yourself against some of the other best defenses in the country. Like, you have to wait for Oregon to come around. You have to especially wait for Iowa to come around. Penn State, Michigan. You got to wait for those games. But get your opportunities in now while you have the chance. Quinshon Judkins, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. My man Quinshon Judkins. Let's go. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, 21-7. Quinshon Judkins just like that. 4 carries, 114 yards, and a touchdown. And another kickoff where Jaden Fielding kicks out of bounds before it gets to the end zone. And Jaden Fielding has to be frustrated after back-to-back kickoffs of kicking the ball out of bounds before it reaches the end zone area. You have Quinshon Judkins out there being electric as you have Jaden Fielding talking with head coach Ryan Day. You got that great group of running backs being shown. You got Sam Williams, Dixon, Quinshon Judkins, and Travion Henderson. Quinshon Judkins, baby. Let's go. Second straight drive where the Marshall Thundering Herd are starting from their own 35-yard line. And here we go with the run play here to number 5. Number 5 being A.J. Turner will be short of the marker, but we'll be able to get some of those yards back here for Marshall after it looked like he was going to lose a couple. As he got a gain of 6, second down and 4 here coming up for the Marshall Thundering Herd. Stone Earl takes a snap, hands it off up the middle, goes the running back. I think he got the first down, if I'm not mistaken. Once again, that's going to be A.J. Turner, number 5 here for Marshall rather. And he will, in fact, have the first down. And the ball will be placed at Marshall's own 45-yard line here. Stone Earl so far 10 of 13 for 69 yards in terms of the passing. Earl takes a snap, hands off again to the running back, and it's only going to be a gain of about 2. The stop made. One of those players involved was Cody Simon, and only a gain of 2 here for this Marshall offense and A.J. Turner. As Jim Knowles elects to get creative with this offense. Here we go. Second down and 8. From their own 47 is the Marshall Thundering Herd. Time ticking down. Close to 9 minutes remaining here in the first half. Second down and 8. Stone Earl set to go with the receiver in motion. Earl takes a snap. Earl looking. Fires on the right side. It's going to be incomplete. No flag is going to be thrown as Caleb Downs is able to make the play. The Alabama transfer and the true sophomore is going to make the play here for the Buckeyes, and you cannot challenge a penalty as Jordan Hancock was involved as well. They were trying to get it to Christian Fitzpatrick, but they double teamed him at the last second with Jordan Hancock coming over. But Caleb Downs is the one making the play, and he was all over Christian Fitzpatrick on the play for a third down and 8 here being the result. Marshall now 4 of 7 on third down here this afternoon. Receiver in motion across the offensive line. Earl takes a snap. Earl looking, fires on the middle of the field. It's caught. And the receiver is going to take it down the field. And once again, that's going to be Elijah Metcalf picking up the first down. And Ohio State's defense, especially the pass defense, still looking a little sloppy out there. if we're being completely honest to say the least, they're looking a little sloppy, giving Stone Earl just a little bit too much time to throw the football. You got to get pressure to Stone Earl. That is an absolute must. Stone Earl taking the snap, fires it down the left side. It's going to be caught by number 9 again. Once again, it's going to be Elijah Metcalf, maybe for a gain of 1. But a second down and long coming up here for the Thundering Herd. That will put Stone Earl up to 12 of 16 for 93 yards passing. 2nd and 9 coming up for Marshall at the 29 of Ohio State. They need to make it to the 20-yard line here for the first down. 8 minutes remaining here in the first half. Stone Earl still looking to the sideline. Still looking to the sideline. They're taking all day long, waiting to go. Now Stone Earl set. In shotgun. Takes the snap. Earl fires on the right side. It's going to be dropped and incomplete. Wow. So that will be Jordan Houston dropping the ball on a 2nd down and 9 when he had a good amount of green grass in front of him. He drops the pass on what was a check down, I do believe, from Stone Earl to Jordan Houston. And a 3rd down and 9 coming up here for Marshall here on this drive with 7:43 remaining here in the first half. Back at the 29-yard line of Ohio State. If Ohio State does get the stop, Marshall will probably just take the points and kick a field goal as Stone Earl takes a snap, looking in trouble and sacked. Caden Curry getting to the quarterback first. And will this be a punt, actually, from the Marshall Thundering Herd? Caden Curry coming away with a big-time sack, and Marshall was not ready to see Caden Curry coming. That might have taken them out of field goal range, believe it or not, because that very well could have took them back to like the 40-yard line. And a big stop for this Ohio State defense, and they will have to punt it away. The ball will bounce in the end zone off the hand of a player on Marshall's special teams. It will be a touchback, and Ohio State will once again start from their own 25-yard line. Massive stop from this Ohio State defense. Athletic trivia. Who are the only 2 Ohio State true freshmen to lead the team in receiving yards? I honestly don't know, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, if anything, it's got to be somewhat recent. It's got to be pretty recent, right? Here we go. 1st and 10 here for the Buckeyes. Howard with the ball, takes the snap, fires it down the left side, caught by Abuka. Abuka with a gain of about 7 or 8 as the clock will continue to wind down. Okay, so the answer to the trivia question was Chris Carter in 1984 and Devin Smith in 2011. I was thinking Devin Smith, though, for a second, but I forgot about Chris Carter. As Howard fires it down the right side, caught by Abuka again, and Abuka taking into Marshall territory down about the 45 of the Thundering Herd, and another first down picked up here for this Ohio State offense. And this offense looking a lot better as the game goes on. And same thing going towards the defense. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Ohio State from the Marshall 44-yard line. Looks like Will Howard's in shotgun again. Emeka Egbuka with 3 receptions, 104 yards, and a touchdown so far. We have yet to see Jeremiah Smith get involved that much. As Howard takes a snap, hands off. Here goes Henderson down the left side. Henderson still running. Henderson going down inside the 30. And the big burst that the other Ohio State star running back needed to get his day going for the Buckeyes. It was a bad snap originally, though, by Seth McLaughlin, another Alabama transfer at center. But Will Howard catches it, hands it off to Henderson, and picks up the first down. Howard escaping off the snap, runs with the ball for a gain of about 7 or 8. And we'll have 2nd down and short here set up for the Buckeyes. Also, it looks to be that we have Donovan Jackson back for the Ohio State offensive line, which is a good thing because he was one of the key pieces to this offensive line, even though the offensive line did have some depth behind Donovan Jackson. But it's still great to have him back in the lineup as Howard's set to go. Hands off to Henderson, who's absolutely stuffed by this Marshall Thundering Herd defense. And it'll be a third down here coming up for the Buckeyes. And do they get Jeremiah Smith involved on this next play? Yeah, Jelani Thurman set up as a blocker, number 15 for the Buckeyes, as he motioned from the left side to the right when the play was already beginning. But that was not enough to start that Marshall defensive line. But do we see Jeremiah Smith get involved right here on 3rd down and 4? Or will we see Ohio State come away with a potential field goal opportunity? Howard has Henderson in motion as he pitches out to Abuka. Abuka picks up the first down. And some creativity here from Chip Kelly and this Ohio State offense. Some true creativity here. And 4 minutes remain here in the first half as Ohio State will look to go up by 3 touchdowns here. Come on, let's go. Come on. Seth McLaughlin at 6'4", 305 pounds, coming from Georgia. Do believe it was Butford for the city as Howard hands it off. Here goes Henderson. Henderson running with the ball all the way to the end zone. Touchdown Buckeyes. Travion Henderson putting it in for the score with 3.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about, Travion. Atta boy. And this Chip Kelly-led offense is getting very creative with how they run their play style. And it shows as the fake run to the right by Howard and the handoff to Henderson fakes out the defense, resulting in 6. The kick by Fielding is good. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Ohio State will lead the Marshall Thundering Herd with the score of 28-7. And the 3rd-ranked team in the country in Ohio State starting to take over here in this game as Ohio State will now lead by 3 touchdowns over the Marshall Thundering Herd. And that was exactly what Travion Henderson needed to get his day going. He needed that play right there. But are we going to see more opportunities from Jeremiah Smith in the receiving game? We need to see more opportunities from Jeremiah Smith because he is one of the outside receivers, so he's either the wide receiver 1 or 2 on this team. Overall, though, in terms of the run game, Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson combined have a stat line of what looks to be about 9 carries for about 150 yards just coming from the run game. Jaden Fielding with the kick, and it once again goes out of bounds. Come on, Jaden Fielding. Jaden Fielding is not having a good day in terms of the kickoffs. He's having a bit of a rough one out there, and this will already go out to the 35-yard line again. Dude, Jaden Fielding needs to pick it up a little bit. Like, that's 3 consecutive times that he's kicked the ball out of bounds before it's reached the end zone. That is 3 consecutive times that he's done it. Here we go. Stone Earl back in at quarterback. 12 of 17 so far for 93 yards in terms of the pass game. Takes the snap, checks it down to his receiver, and he will pick up about 6 or 7 yards with the running clock. That's going to be number 6 again here for Marshall. Number 6 picking up his first reception of the day. Here we go from the 41-yard line, 2nd down and 4. 3 minutes remain here in the first half. Stone Earl takes a snap, hands it off to the running back. The running back taking it. That's going to be Jordan Houston who made the reception on the last play, and on this play, he runs with the ball and picks up the first down. We go 1st and 10 here from Marshall once again. Keep in mind that Ohio State will receive the second half kickoff. So they can continue to take control in this game. Marshall here getting set up from their own 46. Earl takes a snap, hands it off to the running back. It's going to be Jordan Houston again, who is stuffed by this Ohio State defensive line. JT Tuimoloau, Jack Sawyer, you name it. It's a 1-yard loss here for Marshall here on this play. And we have approached officially the 2-minute warning here in the first half. Ohio State was off to a slow start on mainly the defensive side of the ball. Their offense looked a little bit slow at first, but they started to pick it up. But Ohio State overall at the end of the day taking over and leading the Marshall Thundering Herd with the score of 28-7. Sorry about that, ladies and gents, but we once again had a little bit of technical difficulties here in terms of the internet in which I'm using for the box score. So again, ladies and gents, that is my apologies. But again, Ohio State just continuing to dominate here on pretty much both sides of the ball after they were off to what looked to be a bit of a slow start for them. But they have picked it up ever since the slow start. Best thing about this game, ladies and gentlemen, is that Will Howard hasn't even needed to throw the ball. It was not even necessary for Will Howard to even have to throw the ball. Like, he never even had to throw the ball to begin with. Just let your other skill position players take over this game. Although I would still like to see Jeremiah Smith get a bit more involved with this offense here. I would still like to see him get a bit more involved than sitting with 1 reception for 6 yards in the first half so far. I would like to see Jeremiah Smith have more than a reception for 6 yards in the first half. Like, he's got to be better still. And keep in mind that one deep pass from Will Howard to Jeremiah Smith, that was more on Will Howard for the sake of his decision making. But at the end of the day, Will Howard in the first half has been going 8 for 9 for 149 yards as well as a touchdown in the pass game and an interception. Stone Earl fires down the middle of the field on what looked to be a post drag route. But the receiver will be short of the first, and it'll be a 3rd down and 1 here coming for Marshall. But the receiver running a post route right there comes up short of the first down, and Ohio State's defense will look for a stop. Stone Earl takes it, runs down the right side. Can he get the edge? The answer is yes. So Stone Earl is keeping the drive alive here for Marshall to have an opportunity to score here before the end of the half. Like Denzel Burke is going to get boxed out, forcing Sonny Styles to be the one having to make the play instead of it being Denzel Burke. And now Marshall will stand at Ohio State's 43-yard line. Stone Earl takes a snap, hands it off once again. It looks like it's going to be what looks to be A.J. Turner was the one getting the carry. He'll get a gain of 8 yards. And it'll be second down short here for Marshall. Second down 2 to be even more specific. And they will stand at the 35-yard line with a minute to go here in the first half. Stone Earl was about set to go, but looks like a timeout is going to be called by Ohio State, and it'll be their first time out of the half. There's 48 seconds remain here in the first half. Marshall looking to come away with some points here. But can they do it against an Ohio State defense? Even though they had a rough start, have picked it up ever since that opening drive touchdown given up by the defense. Can Ohio State pick it up on the defensive side of the ball and keep Marshall out of field goal range? Second down and 2 here coming up here for Marshall. Receiver in motion. Is going to try to throw it, but gets denied by the defense. He wanted to throw the ball, but never had the chance to do so. That was number 10 here for Marshall. It'll be third down here coming up for the Thundering Herd. Ohio State's defense again looking for a stop. Can they hold Marshall here? Lathan Ransom will head to the sideline. Igbinosun and Jermaine Matthews both enter the game. Third down and 4. Stone Earl with the receiver in motion. That'd be Christian Fitzpatrick. Earl takes a snap, looking, evades the pocket, fires down the field, and it is going to be caught. But they say incomplete. Oh my. Is it going to stand? Oh my. Are they saying he stepped out of bounds first? I mean, he did fall on the turf before making the catch. Is it going to stand as an incomplete pass? And Marshall looks like they're going to challenge that. I mean, they'll give it a look. Did he come down with possession of the football? I think that might be what they're looking at. It looks like it's a catch, honestly. Unless if they're looking at his foot stepping out of bounds. Like, that's the only thing that can keep this call upheld as what it is. As of right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a 4th down and 4 here for Marshall with 37 seconds left here in the first half. I mean, do you become an ineligible receiver, though, once you step out of bounds? Or is that just in the NFL? I think that's what Caleb Downs is trying to say. Like, his foot steps out of bounds before he makes the catch. So does that make him an ineligible receiver? So it looks like the call is going to stand as an incomplete pass for number 8 on the play. That was actually Braylon Brown instead of Christian Fitzpatrick. But I think they caught the receiver going out of bounds. And that looks like it makes him an ineligible receiver at that point. So he could not throw it to Braylon Brown. And they are going to go for it here on 4th down and 4. Which might be a bit of a wild play call, ladies and gentlemen, but we shall see. Here we go, 4th and 4, unless they're trying to draw him off sides. But they will want points here to come away with at the end of the first half because Ohio State does receive the second half kickoff. Stone Earl set to go, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, fires down the left side, it's caught. Christian Fitzpatrick is going to get out of bounds. And this will be a first down here for Marshall. A good play call dialed up here from the Marshall head coach. 1st and 10, and we do have a flag, unfortunately. Which could be roughing the passer against Caden Curry. That's exactly where the flag went. It's going to be roughing the passer on Caden Curry here with 12 seconds remaining. They're going to look at this for a targeting. And keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that targeting is when the player uses the crown of the helmet to initiate contact as they are questioning Caden Curry. Did he use the crown of the helmet to take down Stone Earl? Keep in mind, the crown of the helmet is on top, on like the very top. It's not in front. I don't think this is going to be a targeting. Because he did not use the crown of the helmet. He used like his forehead area. I'm telling you, ladies and gents, keep in mind, when it comes to targeting, you have to use the crown of the helmet, which is like on the top of the head. Caden Curry initiated contact like right here on the helmet. I don't think this is going to be a targeting. I don't think so. But they do call targeting on Caden Curry. He did not use the crown of the helmet, but okay. The crown of the helmet is here. He hit him here. He should have honestly got away with the targeting. He should have got away with that. I don't think there was a reason he should have got called for a targeting. I mean, he hit him here. The crown of the helmet is up a little bit. Like, what are we doing? So now Marshall with a chance to make it a 2-score game going into the second half. Earl, back to pass. Standing at the 20, fires towards the end zone. It is caught for the touchdown by Elijah Metcalf. And just like that, Marshall makes it a 2-touchdown game going into the second half. Did he get a foot down? Oh, no, he didn't. No, he did not. He did not get that foot down. Challenge that. Let's go. Let's go. He did not get that foot down. Oh, no, 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 no. He did not get that foot down. No, he didn't. Nope. Nope, 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 and no. He did not get that foot down. He goes airborne with the right foot, never touches the ground, and that left foot is out of bounds. Nope, that's not a touchdown. That's an incomplete pass. That is not a touchdown. Oh, heck no. That is not a touchdown for Marshall. Take that back. Let's go. Come on. That is not a touchdown for Marshall. Call it an incomplete pass. If they leave that a touchdown, I'm going to lose my mind. There's no way this is a touchdown. Watch his left cleat. Now, I can't tell if that's a shadow or if that's part of the field. It's pretty freaking close. Ooh, I cannot tell. I cannot tell what this is going to be here. Wow, they kept it a touchdown. Are you serious? I guess that red spot was some of the field. Wow, he was that close to having that be ruled as an incomplete pass. He was that close. The kick is up and good here for the Thundering Herd, putting it as a 2-score game here in the first half. Once again, take a look here. And Elijah Metcalf. I mean, there's really nothing that this Ohio State defense could do about that. Like he gets in, and apparently that shadow is part of the field. So the play does stand. Wow. The receiver was that close to not scoring. He was that close to not scoring right there. And they probably would have had to take the points. But the kick is away. They'll go into the end zone for a touchback. Ohio State, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, does get the ball to start the second half. So they will probably just take a knee and we'll head to the locker room. up 28-14. First half offense today, 20 plays for the offense, 28 points, 308 yards. Average time of possession for the team is sitting at 1 minute and 37 seconds. And Ohio State will take a knee. And that will conclude the first half of this game in week 4 of the college football season, as that will take us to the end of the first half, where Ohio State will lead Marshall by a score of 28-14, in which Ohio State will look to continue their dominance here in the second half. Even though they are only up by 2 touchdowns, they will look to dominate the rest of this game and will look to take this one home. As ladies and gents, on that note, we have approached halftime. And what a shocker, ladies and gentlemen. I forget to change the scoreboard again. There you go, ladies and gents. The scoreboard is fixed. And on that note, ladies and gents, we're going to go ahead and go over the halftime stats here. And then we will take the halftime break here like we always do on the channel. I hope this is updated. Like, seriously. Please update. Again, ladies and gents, we are having issues here with the internet for the box score. So just give me a second to hopefully hook it up and hopefully get it working. All right, ladies and gents, the box score is officially updated, so we're going to go over the first half stats now. Starting off on the Marshall Thundering Herd side, Stone Earl finishes off the first half going 16 of 21 for 132 yards and a touchdown. In terms of the passing, in terms of the running game, A.J. Turner leads all running backs with 6 carries for 27 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. Stone Earl, the quarterback, with 10 carries for 23 yards, averaging 2.3 yards a carry. Jordan Houston with 5 carries for 22 yards, averaging 4.4 yards per carry. Ethan Payne with 2 carries for a yard, averaging half a yard per carry, but did come away with the touchdown. And then number 10, Charles Montgomery with a carry for -2 yards to end it off for the running game. For the receiving game, Elijah Metcalf, number 9 here for Marshall, leads all receivers with 8 receptions for 68 yards, averaging 8.5 yards per reception, as well as a touchdown. Braylon Brown with 3 receptions for 29 yards, averaging 9.7 yards per reception. Christian Fitzpatrick with 2 receptions for 27 yards, averaging 13.5 yards per reception. Jordan Houston with a reception for 6 yards. A.J. Turner with a reception for 3 yards. And Toby Payne with a reception for -1 yards. It will not show the defensive side of things here. So in terms of the special teams, Reese Verhoff with 2 points so far for the team in terms of him contributing with 2 extra points. And then in terms of the punting, Alex Clark with 3 punts for 141 yards, averaging 47 yards per punt, in which none have gone inside the 20. And that is how we ended off on the Marshall Thundering Herd side. Now into the Ohio State Buckeyes side now. Will Howard ending off the first half going 8 of 9 for 149 yards with a touchdown and an interception. In terms of the run game, running back Quinshawn Judkins leading all running backs with 4 carries for 114 yards, averaging 28.5 yards per carry, as well as a touchdown. Travion Henderson with 5 carries for 36 yards, as well as a touchdown, averaging 7.2 yards per carry. And combined between Judkins and Henderson is 9 carries for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Will Howard also adding some athleticism to his game with 2 carries here for 9 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry, as well as a touchdown. In terms of the receiving game, Emeka Ibuka leading all receivers here with 4 receptions for 111 yards, averaging 27.8 yards per reception, as well as a touchdown. Carnell Tate with 2 receptions for 21 yards, averaging 10.5 yards per reception. Quinshon Judkins with the reception for 11 yards, being used in the receiving game early on. And then Jeremiah Smith rounding out the receiving game here with the reception for 6 yards. Definitely want to see Jeremiah Smith do a little something here in the second half that can hopefully allow him to make an impact for the team. No punts here for Ohio State, but Jaden Fielding with 4 points so far tallied on the stat sheet. All 4 points being extra points here led from Ohio State's offense. Now over to the team stats now. As Ohio State, in terms of total yards of offense, has 307 total yards of offense to Marshall's 203. Passing yards favors Ohio State, 149 to 132. Ohio State also favored in the run game, 158 to 71. Yards per play also favoring Ohio State, 14.6 to 4.5. First downs favor Marshall, 14 to 10. Third down efficiency, Marshall 6 for 10, Ohio State 2 for 2. Fourth down efficiency, Ohio State has yet to attempt a fourth down play today. Marshall is 1 of 2 on fourth down. Total plays, Marshall with 45, Ohio State with 21. Punts, Marshall with 3, Ohio State with 0. Penalties and yards, Marshall with 4 penalties for 20 yards, Ohio State with 1 penalty for 14 yards. No fumbles lost by either team. Will Howard threw 1 interception so far in the first half, and Marshall has yet to turn the ball over in terms of the pass game. And then in terms of time of possession, Marshall has had the ball for 21 minutes and 47 seconds, while Ohio State has had the ball for 8 minutes and 13 seconds to end off the first half stats. And ladies and gents, on that note, that is how the first half stats will come to an end here in this one. And Ohio State will remain up on the Marshall Thundering Herd with the score of 28 to 14. And on that note, ladies and gents, we're actually going to go ahead and take the halftime break here like we always do on the channel, no matter what game we are live streaming. Y'all pretty much know how this works here, ladies and gents. Go get a snack, go get a drink, go to the bathroom, do whatever you guys need to do in order to get ready for the second half of this game between the Marshall Thundering Herd and the Ohio State Buckeyes. And ladies and gents, on that note, I will see y'all back here for the second half. Sorry about that, guys. I cut that off a little bit early there. Forgot to put the music on repeat so it would play multiple times if we needed it to. But this second half should get underway here in just a few moments, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we see a little bit of better of expectations from some players that need to step up. Now, I need to see Jeremiah Smith get more involved with his offense. I need to see this defense step up a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, Jeremiah Smith is the main one that I need to see get more involved with his offense. And it all starts with Will Howard giving him opportunities when he has the chance to do so. My guy, SC Sports Talk, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through and tuning in. Hit the like button if you're not done so, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through the stream. Go, Marshall. Hey, man, it is what it is. You know, can't believe we're only up 2 touchdowns on Marshall. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm doing well, SC Sports Talk. Hopefully you're doing the same, my guy. Hopefully everyone's doing well on this Saturday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Go Mets beat Philly. Hey. This guy saying go Mets beat Philly. Yeah, we locked up a playoff spot yesterday. We locked up that playoff spot. We got to lock up the division. And we can do that, I think, within one of the next 2 games. Within 1 or 2 more games, if we beat the Mets, I'm pretty sure we can lock up the division. Either in this game today or in the game tomorrow, assuming we win both games against the Mets. We can lock up the division this weekend. Well, the second half is about to get underway here, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Ohio State will begin with the ball here to start the second half. Got to work today from 3 to 11. Hey, man, it is what it is. All business, you know. Phillies will lose both games. I hope not. No. I want to beat down the Mets. I want to beat them down. Muck the Fets. If you know, you know. Muck the Fets. Here we go. The second half is officially underway as we welcome you guys here to the second half in this matchup of Week 4 between Marshall and Ohio State, where Ohio State leads Marshall as of right now with a score of 28-14. Ohio State will look to step up a bit in the second half, get a few more players involved, and hopefully have the defense step up too, and hopefully beat down Marshall and remain as a top 3 team in the country. Only teams ahead of them right now are Texas and Georgia up to this point. Ohio State will start with the ball here at their own 25-yard line, and they will have the ball to start the second half. Will Howard so far with only 9 pass attempts completing 8 of them for 149 yards, as well as a touchdown and interception. As the first play of the second half is a little bit of a check down here to Quinshon Judkins for only a gain of about 3 yards here. It'll be 2nd down and 7 coming up here for the Buckeyes. Again, I want to see Jeremiah Smith get involved. Like you only made 2 pass attempts to Jeremiah Smith, one of which was a check down, which was caught by Jeremiah Smith for 6 yards. And then the other one being a deep ball that got picked off by Marshall's defense. So Jeremiah Smith is somebody that I want to see get a bit more involved here in the second half. But here we go. Will Howard set to go. Pitches it out to Judkins. Judkins running with the football. Quinshon Judkins. The first down here is good for the Bucks. And the running game continuing to be effective here from Ohio State. Mainly because of that man wearing the scarlet and white in number 1, Quinshon Judkins. Howard with the ball checking it down is Abuka. running with the football, getting a gain of about 7. And it'll be a 2nd down and 3 here coming up for the Buckeyes offense. They're going to actually say it's going to be a gain of 6 yards instead of 7, so it'll be a 2nd down and 4. Here we go, 2nd down and 4. Howard on the handoff. Here goes Judkins again, and Judkins only with a gain of a yard to make it 3rd down and 3 here for Ohio State. Need to pick up the first. Looks like it's a good time to get Jeremiah Smith involved, Ohio State. Let's go. Don't be backing away from him, all because Will Howard threw an interception. Don't be backing him down now. Let's go. Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson have combined for 10 carries for 161 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. 3rd down and 3 with Henderson in the backfield this time. Will Merrick in motion from the left side to the right. Howard takes the snap. Looking, fires on the left side. It's incomplete. They're looking for a flag. Are they going to get one? Yes, they will for defensive pass interference. Let's go. All day long, baby. Let's go. Come on. All day long, that was defensive pass interference. Grabbing Cornell Tate and tossing him to the ground. All day long. Will Howard's like, where's the flag? Where's the flag at? Dude, Will Howard is actually hilarious, like low-key. Here we go. 1st and 10 here for the Buckeyes. Now in Marshall territory at their 47-yard line. Howard takes a snap. Fakes the handoff to Henderson. Checks it down. It's Will Merrick, the backup tight end. And the tight end finally gets involved. Might not be G. Scott Jr., but it's Will Merrick instead for a gain of about what looked to be about 8 yards. And it'll be 2nd down short coming up here for the Buckeyes. It looked to be a gain of about 7 or 8. Pretty good block by Emeka Ibuka before he had to let go of the defender. So it'll be a gain of about 7 actually. So 2nd down and 3. Howard takes a snap. Pitches it out. Here goes Henderson. Henderson down the sideline. Travion Henderson staying on his feet all the way to the end zone. Touchdown Buckeyes. Travion Henderson with a massive burst of speed into the end zone. And the other running back that's been here for quite some time picks up the touchdown as he stayed here in what looked to be his redshirt senior season, stays at Ohio State, and shows why he elected to stay here. For plays like this, with his partner in crime, Quinshon Judkins, said he gave them the nasty stiff arm, the defender, and just like that, 6 more points on the board coming from the ground game. Kick is up, and the kick is good for Jaden Fielding. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, Ohio State now up by 3 touchdowns to the Marshall Thundering Herd with the score of 35-14 with 11:48 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Dude, like, we're just dominating this team in the run game. We don't even have to throw the ball. We don't even have to throw the ball. Like, seriously. And I love it. You know, the Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson takeover. Like, seriously. It's the takeover of the run game, guys. I'm telling you. Like, seriously. Can you read my comment? I got you, man. Hang on 1 second. Hold up. So originally, first he said San Jose State just lost to Washington State 46-43 double overtime. They're no longer undefeated in college football. San Jose State football just lost to Washington State by a score of 54-42 in college football, and they are no longer undefeated. So what was the final score of the game? Because originally you said San Jose State lost to Washington State 46-43 in double overtime. And then you said they lost to Washington State by a score of 54-52 in double overtime. So what was the final score? The State Spartans dropped to 3-1. I read your comment, my guy. Appreciate you posting in the chat. Shout out to you. 54-51, 52. Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's my fault. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Like, seriously, Ohio State literally has the best 1-2 punch running game in the country. Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson are both nasty work. And when they're on the field together, oh, it's over. So they're making a kicking change for the kickoffs now. So looks like they've benched Jaden Fielding for kickoffs. And now they've put number 98 in for the team, which will be returnable here from Marshall as the runner here for Marshall, which was Jordan Houston, puts up for a pretty solid return. Jaden Fielding with 3 consecutive kicks out of bounds. So it's probably going to be a change that they make in terms of the kickoffs. They're going to have that backup kicker come in and do the kickoffs for them, and Jaden Fielding will be doing the extra points and field goals. Is what it's looking like it's going to be, like, permanently. Because that looked so much better. Here we go, ladies and gents. 1st and 10 here for Marshall here from their own 20. As Stone Earl hands it off to the running back. Once again, that's going to be Jordan Houston, it looks like, for a gain of about 4 yards and a 2nd down 6 opportunity coming up. Sonny Styles right there to make the tackle. Here we go. Stone Earl set to go here. Marshall currently standing at their own 24-yard line. 2nd down and 6. Stone Earl hands it off again. It's Jordan Houston again, and he is going absolutely nowhere. And this Ohio State defense will look to make a stand. Cody Simon was a part of it, and so was Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles was the first guy there. Cody Simon was there, and same thing with Lathan Ransom. 3rd down 3 coming up here for Marshall here on this play. Marshall is 6 of 11 on 3rd down, while Ohio State is 2 for 2. 3rd down 3 here for Marshall with 10.5 minutes remaining. Here we go. Stone Earl set to go. Standing in the backfield. Rather, standing in shotgun. Earl takes a snap. Takes on the quarterback keeper, and he is not going to make it there. Only a gain of a yard, and Ohio State's defense will step off the field for what looks to be a 3-and-out here coming from this Ohio State defense. And they will get off the field right away, and they will send the offense right back to work. And it looks to be that Stone Earl is actually hurt on the play as he is still sitting on the turf. So it looks like he's going to shake it off a little bit, limp to the sideline. So we will see on the next offensive drive what Marshall decides to do in terms of who their quarterback's going to be on the next drive. I mean, we might have the opportunity to see somebody else. Like, could we see the original starter, Braylon Braxton, I should say? Or will we see Cole Pennington if Stone Earl cannot remain in the game? says San Jose State failed to complete 2-point conversion after the touchdown double overtime, which would have made the score 54-54. But unfortunately, that didn't happen in the game in Fulton, Washington. Hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Stone Earl can't go, will we see Braylon Braxton or will we see Cole Pennington? Because Braylon Braxton is the initial starter, but who knows even if he's available? Like, is he even healthy? Like, that could be the reason why that he did not start in the beginning. Like, because Braylon Braxton is listed as the starting quarterback for the team. QB tried to make a pass but was violently sacked. Damn. Wow. All right, so we can't see if Braylon Braxton is healthy or not. Apparently, we're still having a little bit of internet difficulties here. Just a little bit. Like, it's not that bad because there's some things that we can get. But on other perspectives, it's been a little bit slow. But yeah, ladies and gents, Ohio State will take over here as they force Marshall to punt. The punter, Alex Clark, will send it down. It'll be picked up by Brandon Innes. And Ohio State will have great field position here to start the drive. Come on, I still want to see Jeremiah Smith get involved a little bit here. Let's go. I want to see Jeremiah Smith get involved a little bit here on this drive. Come on. Quinshon Judkins and TreVeyon Henderson today, working with 12 carries for 202 yards, nearly 17 yards per carry, as well as 3 touchdowns for the team. So 3 out of the 4 touchdowns, or 3 out of 5 touchdowns so far amongst the Buckeyes have come from either TreVeyon Henderson or Quinshon Judkins. Will Howard had a rushing touchdown, and they had a passing touchdown as well. Throwing that to Emeka Egbuka, who we haven't heard being mentioned in a while, as Howard throws in the middle of the field and is dropped by Jelani Thurman, another one of the backup tight ends here, as well as Wilcack Merrick. But Jelani Thurman, 2 hands on the ball when you catch it. You're not the Odell Beckham Jr.'s of the world. Let's go. 2 hands on the ball. Let's go. Come on. As Will Howard will hand it off again here to Quinshon Judkins on 2nd and 10. And Judkins will get a gain of 4 to make it a 3rd down and 6 here for the Buckeyes. Will Ohio State pick up a 1st down? And how are they going to do it if they do pick up the 1st down? Are they going to do it in the pass game with Will Howard or the run game with Judkins or Henderson? So they go with 5 wide, 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Howard with an empty backfield. Howard takes a snap. Howard looking, dancing, fires in the middle of the field. It's caught. There he is. The man I've been talking about that needs to get more involved with the offense in the second half, as the pass is caught by Jeremiah Smith, and another 1st down here for the Buckeyes. I've been saying that Jeremiah Smith needs to get a bit more involved with the offense here in the second half. They could not resist to go away from him. He had to get a bit more involved, and indeed he does. Just like so. He had to get a bit more involved, and just like that. Let's go. Now Ohio State will stand on Marshall's 45-yard line. Howard set to go with a low snap. Hands it off to Judkins. Judkins breaking tackles. Judkins, another first down. Judkins still on his feet and finally goes down after what looks to be a 15-yard gain from the Ole Miss transfer. And this just shows how effective this running game is and why this is easily the best 1-2 punch running game in the country. And it all starts with the Ole Miss transfer himself and Quinshon Judkins, as he has been the team's lead back today. 406 yards of total offense for the Buckeyes to only 211 for Marshall. Ohio State set to go as they're set at the Marshall 29-yard line. Howard looking for options. Howard fires on the left side, tries to play it safe with Merrick, who drops the pass. And that could have been risky for Will Howard's second interception of the day. I mean, it's overall been a solid day for Will Howard. I mean, he hasn't had to do too much. But I mean, either he's placed on the money as he's been 12 of 15 on the day, or the receivers have been helping him out whenever he hasn't made the best of throws. But all around, though, Will Howard's had a pretty solid day. I'm only saying a solid day because of that interception that he threw, because that was just a poor decision by Will Howard. But in terms of the yards, it has not been his best day because a lot of these have been short completions. A lot of these plays have been short completions, though. I will tell you that, to say the least. As there is a flag for whatever reason on the play, right before they're about to snap it. Like, what's the flag for? And on sportsmanlike conduct on Ohio State. Looks like they're getting it on Ryan Day. Oh my gosh. Ryan Day, could you please, for crying out loud, hold yourself accountable? Like, you have Trayvon Henderson trying to hold you back. Ryan Day, you better shut up or these refs are going to toss you out of the game, buddy. Seriously. You better shut up before these refs toss you out of the game. He's still chirping. Ryan Day is still chirping. It is ridiculous. He's still chirping out there. He's still chirping. Ryan Day, can you shut up and just go back to the sideline? Man, this is a movie and a half. My guy Charles Adderley, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming through. Good afternoon, all on the live stream broadcast. Hey, appreciate you coming through, Charles. Hit the like button if you're not done so, my guy. Appreciate you coming through the stream. Because I love making an impact on the younger generation and making their lives better. Hey, man. Much appreciated on what you're doing. Whatever it is you're doing, keep doing it, please. Ryan Day's a clown. Like, dude, just shut up and go to the sideline. Like, let it go. They threw the flag. Shut up. Go back to the sideline. Let's go. Please. Go back to the sideline and just shut up. Please, for the love of God. Like, this dude, Ryan Day, cannot even hold himself accountable one bit. Look at that. He's still chirping. And it's a second down and 25, all because of Ryan Day's big mouth talking constantly. Here we go. Second down 25 for the Buckeyes now because Ryan Day can't hold himself accountable. Howard takes a snap, hands it off. Judkins up the middle. Only a gain of about 6 or 7 probably. It'll be a third down and long coming up here for the Bucks. Third down 19 to be exact. Put some tape on Ryan Day's mouth. Exactly. Ryan Day will get ejected. I mean, he just needs to shut up and just let it go. Like, move on to the next play and stop worrying about the last one. Trayvon Henderson in motion here on a 3rd and 19. Howard takes the snap. Howard looking, having to go to his left, having to dance around, and he is sacked. Taken down by number 15 here for Marshall. And this will take Ohio State out of field goal range. Thanks a lot, Ryan Day. What a bum. Number 15 coming away with the sack here. That's going to be Mike Green, the right defensive end, making the play here for the Thundering Herd. And all because of Ryan Day not being able to hold himself accountable. Here we go. Here comes another flag. Oh, goody. Like, you have the players holding Ryan Day accountable. Like, what are we doing here? All because of Ryan Day, we're sitting back on the... All because of Ryan Day, we're sitting back on the 50-yard line. Now, that right there is all Ryan Day's fault. Like, are you serious? Like, why are we sitting back at the Marshall 45 right now? All because Ryan Day can never shut his mouth. Like, seriously. And this punt here by Marshall will result in a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 here for the Thundering Herd from their own 25-yard line. 6:23 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Once again, Ohio State leads Marshall 35-14. Ryan Day's a jerk. Get Ryan Day out of the game. Like, Ryan Day, can you please just shut up and move on to the next play? Like, please. Please, 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 please. Just shut up and move on to the next play. It's ridiculous. Me too. Thank you. Ryan Day's such a crybaby. So dramatic. It's amazing. It's unbelievable. How this guy is just so dramatic all the time and just never plans on keeping his mouth shut. It's amazing. Like, Ryan Day, just stay quiet, will you? You just stay quiet for once? Seriously. Imagine just thinking about the past, ladies and gentlemen. That describes Ryan Day perfectly. In addition to him being a crybaby, such drama. Seriously, such drama with Ryan Day. He's like a little kid crying to his daddy all the time. Like, come on. Leave the poor refs alone and move on to the next play. Sure, they might not be the best, but get over it. Ryan Day, Ryan Day, Ryan Day, Ryan Day. Like, how much was he being a crybaby for? Like, 5 minutes? Way to watch Ryan Day be a crybaby for 5 minutes straight. Like, what are we doing? All right, now, junior Braylon Braxton finally in the game here for the Marshall Thundering Herd. They have pulled their other quarterback out of the game, and looks like he's going to have to sit. So they have pulled Stone Earl, and they're playing Braylon Braxton right now. As the first play from Braylon Braxton results in an incompletion that was almost tipped and intercepted by the Ohio State defense. That's probably going to be it for Stone Earl. He'll probably come back in the game if they need him to, because he does have his helmet on. He didn't just go straight to the locker room. He does have his helmet on and is standing on the sideline. Braxton hands it off to the running back. The running back going to get a couple yards here. Actually, quite a few. It'll look like 7 yards here on the carry. And third down short coming up here for the Marshall Thundering Herd. That would be Ethan Payne on the carry, number 28. If Ryan Day was sitting in a movie theater and he opened up his mouth and started talking loudly and disrupting the patrons, and then it would result in him getting booted from the theater. Exactly. Ryan Day. Probably the biggest crybaby on the team, if we're being completely honest. Come on, can we just get this game over with? Like, seriously. We got 6 minutes left in the third quarter. It's already 3:15 right now. I want to watch the Michigan game a little bit. Watch Michigan get beat down by USC. Watch Miller Moss go ahead and shred that defense apart. Yeah, guys, appreciate the people still tuning in to this stream. I know it's a little quiet at times, but what do we really have to discuss right now? Apart from Ryan Day being such a crybaby all the time, like Ryan Day, just keep your mouth shut, please. Hit the like button, subscribe to BOC Sports Channel for outstanding content. Yes, sir, you already know. It's powerful indeed. Yes, sir. 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter here, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, the Marshall offense set to take the field here once again for a 3rd down 3 opportunity. Braylon Braxton in at quarterback once again. They went ahead and decided to sit Stone Earl for pretty much the rest of the game, as the quarterback keeper here from Braylon Braxton is good for the 1st down. As he'll pick up a few yards here, but it will be enough to move the chains. With 5.5 minutes remaining, and let this clock wind down. I cannot stand the shenanigans of Ryan Day. Tell me about it, trust me. I can't either. As executive producer, how are you doing today? I'm doing great, Charles. I hope you're doing the same, my guy. First and 10 here from Marshall as they sit at their own 33-yard line. Braylon Braxton takes the snap, hands it off to the running back again, Ethan Payne, and he will be absolutely denied by this Ohio State defense again. Jordan Hancock was one of the players in the mix right there to deny that play on first down, so it'll be a 2nd down and 11. This time, Marshall will be standing at their own 32-yard line. Braxton taking the snap, handing it off again. It's going to be A.J. Turner with the carry this time for a couple yards. It'll be a 3rd down and 6 here coming up here for Marshall with under 4.5 minutes remaining here in the third. Here we go. 3rd down and 6 here for the Thundering Herd here. They will be at their own 37-yard line. Braylon Braxton takes the snap, looking for options, going to the right, and he will keep the play alive. Fires it down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. I don't know how he evaded the pass rush right there, because it looked like Ohio State's defense had him ready to sit down. And the receiver, Charles Montgomery, is just frustrated on the play. All right, so Ohio State will probably have the backups in by the 4th quarter, maybe give it a drive in the 4th quarter, and then they'll probably pull the starters. Brandon Ennis going to return this one. Brandon Ennis taking the field. Brandon Ennis slips, though. He had a clear-cut opportunity to get a few more yards than what he did, but Ohio State will be put in great field positioning either way thanks to the return by number 11 himself, Brandon Ennis. And with 3:40 remaining here in the 3rd quarter, Ohio State will have the ball in great field positioning here to set up 1st and 10. They're looking to continue to get Jeremiah Smith involved. Will Howard so far 12 of 15 with 176 passing yards with a touchdown and an interception. Howard with this pass fires it down the field, caught by Jeremiah Smith, who turns on the Jets, and you can kiss Jeremiah Smith goodbye. Look at the freshman himself, Jeremiah Smith. Touchdown Buckeyes. Boy, this offense is fun to watch. Oh, snap. This offense is fun to watch, ladies and gentlemen. And it all starts with the freshman himself, Jeremiah Smith, who says, I need to get more involved with the offense, so let me just take the ball all the way into the end zone for the touchdown. Jeremiah Smith, just extremely effective. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So they actually pulled Jaden Fielding from the entire game, so he's not even taking extra points anymore. Wait, hold up. Who's the Ohio State backup kicker? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold up. Who's Ohio State's backup kicker? Behind Jaden Fielding. Yeah, hold up 1 second. Who is Ohio State's backup kicker? You could easily put up 100 on Marshall. We could, but, we'd rather save our starters. We'd rather save our starters, though. Yeah, who's this backup kicker for Ohio State? Puts it in the end zone for a touchback, so it's number 98. Who's number 98 on the kicking? Austin Snyder. So the senior transfer is now taking over kicks for Jaden Fielding. So Austin Snyder now taking kicks as the senior transfer. Will he see time over Jaden Fielding next week? I mean, we shall see when it's all said and done. Here we go. 1st and 10 here for Marshall as they have the ball right back. Braylon Braxton set to go. Standing in shotgun with the receiver in motion. Braxton going to run with the football on the quarterback keeper. Going to get a gain of about 3 yards. Second down 7 now. Coming up here for Marshall. Braylon Braxton with an empty backfield now. Takes the snap. Looking. Fires on the right side. It is caught by the receiver who gets absolutely blasted by Denzel Burke. Reminds me of a kid named Denzel Ward, as they say. You got barbecue back there and you didn't invite me? Hurt my feelings. Make that number 3 in Ohio State history. And he gives him the stare down. Oh, snap. Shout out Gus Johnson. Braylon Braxton bringing the receiver in motion. Takes a snap. Looks. Dances. Fires down the field. And it is too low and it is incomplete. And another 3 and out here for Marshall. 4th and 5, and Marshall will once again punt the football. With 2:08 remaining here in the third. And the kick is up and away here from Marshall, sending it down the field towards Brandon Innes. And I think they're going to say that somebody touched Brandon Innes from Marshall, so this is going to be on the kicking team, I think. Ohio State has developed some very good wide receivers in past years and in past history. They have developed some very good wide receivers. You know, especially in the last few years, especially in the last couple of years, they brought in Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, Jeremiah Smith is probably going to be the next great wide receiver. Wide receiver recruiting ranks Jeremiah Smith number 1 overall and a 5-star. Emeka Ibuka number 10 overall, 5-star. Brandon Innes number 35 overall, 5-star. And then Carnell Tate number 59 overall in the country and a 4-star. Here we go. Will Howard set to go. Fakes the handoff to Judkins, finds a man in the middle of the field, and looks like they got Carnell Tate picking up the reception. I thought for a second they had Brandon Innes in the game making the reception, but it is in fact Carnell Tate making the play. And another completion here from Will Howard, the Kansas State transfer at quarterback. Still has been an all-around good day for Will Howard. I wouldn't say great because of that interception. Howard looking for options. Going down the field. Finds his man. It's Carnell Tate. Putting on the burners. And down inside what looks to be the 45 goes Carnell Tate. The other outside receiver alongside Jeremiah Smith. Beautiful throw here by Will Howard. Finding his man, the beautiful catch, and he turns on the Jets. Into Marshall territory now at the 40. Howard looking for options. Gets away from the pocket. Has to just throw it away at that point, and that is what he will do. Just to avoid a second interception on the day. Again, like I said, it's just been a good day from Will Howard. I mean, nothing special. I mean, I get the 15 for 19, 272 yards and 2 touchdowns. But that interception, though, was just like something where Will Howard will have to pick up, even though it was his first turnover of the season in terms of the interceptions. Here we go. Will Howard bringing the receiver in motion. Howard pitches it to Judkins. Judkins, the carry for about 4 to 5 yards. And we do have a flag. Who's the flag going against here? So they call unnecessary roughness against Marshall. So the penalty is unnecessary roughness against Marshall. So I think Ohio State's going to get another 15 yards here. First and 10 here for the Buckeyes. Howard takes a snap. Hands off to Judkins for a gain of about 3 yards. It'll be about a 2nd down, 7 or 8 coming up here for the Bucks. And I'll only say you got a gain of 2. As we see Emeka Ibuka on the sideline. Quinshon Judkins having a monstrous day. Howard takes a snap, fakes it to the receiver, finds his man. It's Jelani Thurman, who stood out of bounds only for a gain of about 3. And that will take us, in fact, to the end of the 3rd quarter, where Ohio State still continues to dominate Marshall as of right now with the score of 42-14, and pretty much, for the most part, have sealed this football game. But we'll probably come away with one more touchdown before the starters will be pulled at the end of this game. Well, at least sometime in the 4th quarter, the starters will be pulled and they'll have the backups in. I'm slacking a little bit on the scoreboard today. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. There you go, guys. There is your score going into the 4th quarter. Ohio State up 42-14 on Marshall. Big Fridge, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming through. This is Georgia's better than OSU. Oh boy, here we go. Here we go from your typical Georgia fans showing that bias and saying Georgia's better than Ohio State. And also says a guy that is a fan of the team that only beat the unranked let me say that again. Unranked Kentucky Wildcats by how many points? You see that? What's that number right there? If you count your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do some counting, okay? It wasn't by 10 points. It wasn't by 9. It wasn't by 8. It wasn't by 7. It wasn't by 6. It wasn't by 5. It wasn't by 4. It wasn't by 3. It wasn't by 2. It was by, that's right, 1 point. Y'all barely beat Kentucky. Y'all barely beat the Kentucky Wildcats by 1 point, and you're claiming that Georgia's better than Ohio State. At least when we play, Fridge, we dominated our opponents, unlike on your end, where you have Carson Beck having a bad game when he's supposed to be your QB and one of your leaders of the team, and against Kentucky, he couldn't really do that. So, especially when you look back on the film, Carson Beck didn't even look all that great in that game, if we're being completely honest. So, The fact that you only scored 13 points on Kentucky absolutely blows my mind. But hey, Fridge, I'm just playing with you at the end of the day. My guy, appreciate you for coming through, tuning in. Hit the like button if you're not done so. My guy, appreciate you for coming through the stream. I just got to get my trash talk out there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. But to be real, though, y'all only beat the Kentucky Wildcats by 1 point. Ha, ha, ha. And we dominate our opponents on the other end. We dominate our opponents while y'all are barely beating Kentucky. Kentucky is a basketball school. They are not a football school. Now let's go. Let's start up the fourth quarter. Let's go here. Come on. Get this fourth quarter started. Come on with the touchdown and pull the starters. Let's go. Ohio State putting up 505 yards of total offense, having the ball for only just above 17 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Will Howard set to go. Howard takes a snap, hands it off to Judkins. Judkins going to the left side. He's going to be a little bit short. I will not be shocked if Ohio State goes for this because that is a Chip Kelly move right here to go ahead and go for this. As of right now, the offense is staying on the field. Fourth down and 1. Here for Ohio State. Howard hands it off. Judkins up the middle and a first down for the Buckeyes. Let's go. Let's end the starters time here with the touchdown. Let's go. Beating down Marshall. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. Not about how you start, ladies and gentlemen. It's about how you finish. Here we go. Under 14 minutes remain. Howard takes a snap. Hands it off. Judkins down the left side. Breaks that tackle and is into the end zone. Touchdown Buckeyes. And Quinshon Judkins might now have just claimed himself to be the RB1 of this team. Quinshon Judkins, for him, that would be his second touchdown of the day. And 4 touchdowns combined between Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. Beautiful. I love it. Let's go. And the kick is up here, and the kick is good. 49-14 now being your score here, ladies and gentlemen, with under 14 minutes remaining here in this one. And Quinshon Judkins very well put the icing on the cake in this game. And bada bing, bada boom, Ohio State now up by 5 touchdowns over the Marshall Thundering Herd. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. But still, at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, it's still been a pretty good day from Will Howard. I mean, if you were to ask me, I give Will Howard an A- in terms of his performance today. That one interception, though, where he threw it to Jeremiah Smith and it got absolutely snatched away by the defensive back from Jeremiah Smith. I mean, that's a tough one to blame Jeremiah Smith on because, like, that was just a poor decision, especially with as tight of coverage as the DB had on Jeremiah Smith. So that's just one I blame on Will Howard, to be completely honest, unless I go back and see something different. Like, I just don't find that to be on Jeremiah Smith. I find it to be on Will Howard because, again, the DB just went ahead and locked down Jeremiah Smith, and Will Howard should have never made the decision. If anything, just throw the ball away. Just throw the ball away on that one interception. But apart from that interception, though, Will Howard has been great. Will Howard has been great outside of that interception he threw. And again, man, shout out to the run game. The run game, beautiful. We got a touchdown here from Emeka Buka, 68 yards to tie the game up 7-7. And Quinshon Judkins with the 86-yard burst here. And Travion Henderson with the 40-yard touchdown to lead the team 35-14. And Jeremiah Smith with a 53-yard touchdown, 42-14 was the score at that point. And now Ohio State leads Marshall 49-14 after the touchdown again by Quinshon Judkins. And the kick is away here, and this will result in a touchback, 49-14 being your score, with 13:46 left here in the fourth quarter. And that was very well probably the last drive that we might have seen from the offensive starters. Come on, man. I want to get to the end of this game so I can watch the Michigan USC game and watch Miller Moss go absolutely crazy against Michigan in the Big House. I want to get done with this game. Let's go. Here we go. Taking the snap, looking to the right side, and that is broken up, incomplete. What should have been intercepted here by Jordan Hancock is broken up, incomplete. And Cole Pennington has now entered the game here for the Marshall Thundering Herd. The sophomore quarterback at 6'3", 209 pounds, out of Versailles, Kentucky, who's also the son of Chad Pennington, who I do believe is retired at this point. Here we go. So now Cole Pennington in the game here for Marshall. At quarterback from the 25, second down 10. Pennington takes a snap, tries to hand it off or do a play action or something, and it is incomplete, but his arm got hit like you have no idea. And Cole Pennington's father, Chad Pennington, also went to Marshall, as well as Randy Moss, believe it or not. Like, if it was anything, it's intentional grounding for the penalty, but looks like it's going to be against Ohio State because Marshall is moving up the field. $13:38 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Standing at the 35-yard line. Cole Pennington set to go. Pennington takes a snap. Hands it off to the running back, who's absolutely stuffed and is going nowhere thanks to this Ohio State defense. Arvell Reese was a part of that defensive effort on the stop. And a second down 11 coming here for Marshall and Cole Pennington. Second down 11 from the 34-yard line. 13 minutes remain. Pennington hands off to the running back. It was going nowhere again. Melton making the play here for this Ohio State defense. Another 1 yard loss here for this Ohio State defense getting to Marshall. Another 1 yard loss. And this run defense has also been something special here the rest of the way. 3rd down and 12. And the handoff now to the running back, and he'll take it for a little bit. Up to about 4th down and short. Again, that's going to be Ethan Payne with the carry. It'll be 4th down here. And the coach is like, you know what? Let's go for it. They're just waiting on the play call. They're just saying, you know what? Let's go for it. Just for the heck of it. Not sure what Jermaine Matthews is waiting for. Like, what is he complaining to the official about? Okay, so timeout here called by Marshall with 11 and a half minutes remaining. 49-14 being the score. And Ohio State pretty much sealing the deal on this one, putting the icing on the cake. And looks like Ohio State is going to come away with a comfortable win here over Marshall. Even though we do still have a lot of time left, they're going to come away with a pretty comfortable win, if we're being completely honest. So we'll probably see some Devin Brown and Julian Sayin as well. Running with the second team. And again, like I said, Will Howard contributing for a total of 273 yards of total offense. And overall, in my opinion, has had a A- type of performance. Again, if he didn't throw that interception, I would have given him an A+ performance, even though he only had 2 touchdowns. Because Quinshon Judkins and TreVeyon Henderson have just shown how dominant of a running back duo they are in the country just as a whole. They've shown how dominant they have been all year. Like, combined between Judkins and Henderson, you have 20 carries for 20 carries for 249 yards and 4 total touchdowns on the ground. And again, Austin Snyder took over the kicking here for Jaden Fielding. I think they mainly pulled Jaden Fielding because, like, realistically speaking, it looks like he can't be the kicker on kickoff. So unless he turns it around next week against Michigan State, looks like Austin Snyder is going to be the guy, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's just one game, but at the end of the day, you can't be kicking the ball out of bounds 3 consecutive times in a row. I don't care what the weather conditions are. Whether if it's windy, sunny, rainy, I don't care what the weather is. You can't be kicking the ball out of bounds 3 times in a row. Like, that's just unacceptable at that point if you're kicking the ball out of bounds 3 times in a row before it has an opportunity to reach the end zone. Like, that's just ridiculous. And here we go, the punt coming here from Marshall on 4th down and 4. Ohio State pretty much going to have great field positioning here once again. And we're probably going to see the second team at this point. So we've probably wrapped it up in terms of seeing the starters. Brandon Innes makes the catch here. and we'll probably see the second team come in. But look at Emeka Ibuka running in the slot, getting up to 22 miles per hour. Quinshon Judkins getting up to about 23. Jeremiah Smith getting up to 22. Like, this team is just full of talent across the board. This team's been unbelievable. It'll be 1st and 10 here for the Buckeyes. We see Julian Sayin still on the bench, and they're going to play Devin Brown. So we have officially seen the end of the starters for the most part. Here we go. Brown handing it off here to James Peoples, who keeps on running. Gets a gain of about 9. I don't think he got the first. But Devin Brown, the junior quarterback here in his career with a 61.1% completion percentage, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So Will Howard's day is done, finishing this one with 16 of 20, 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception in addition to a rushing touchdown. Howard with the ball, throws it out in the flat, finds his man Brandon Innes, and he'll pick up the first down here for the Buckeyes. So again, we're just seeing the second team pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, for pretty much the rest of the game. Hopefully we see a drive of Julian Sayin. I mean, that would be nice to see Julian Sayin get some playing time again. But I'll tell you one thing, in that one game where Julian Sayin played, he looked better than Devin Brown. As Devin Brown hands it off here, looks like that's again going to be James Peoples. Peoples will get a gain of about 4 yards to make it a 2nd down 6 here for the Bucks. Devin Brown hands it off here to James Peoples again. Peoples going to get a gain of about 3 yards. It'll be a 3rd down 3 coming up here for Ohio State. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could see a drive of Devin Brown and then a drive of Julian Sayin. Maybe have a little bit of controversy to see who's QB2. Quite possibly. I mean, Devin Brown is 1 of 1 so far for 4 yards. I mean, I got to see a little bit more. Devin Brown with the ball, fires on the left side. It is incomplete. That's going to be on the receiver and Jaden Ballard. That was not Devin Brown's fault. That was not Devin Brown's fault. That wasn't even close to Devin Brown's fault. Hit him right in the hands. If the ball hits your hands, you got to catch the football. 9 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. Joe McGuire, I do believe, is the punter here for Ohio State. And he'll be set to go ahead and kick his 2nd punt of the day. A little outside, 9 minutes remaining here. And the punt is being sent down. Down to about the 26. It looks like that is where Marshall will start on this upcoming drive. But yeah, guys, this game's pretty much over. But like we always do, we always stay here till the end and then go over the stats at the end of the game. I will be dropping my Eagles versus Saints preview at some point this afternoon, this evening, guys. So be on the lookout for that when it all comes around. But yeah, we're not done with content for today, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you that much for sure. Guys, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Just under 9 minutes left to go here in the fourth quarter. Ohio State up by a lot. Cole Pennington back in at quarterback, takes a snap, fires on the right side, complete to number 2. That will be Tyshawn Chapman, and he'll get a gain of 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5 here for Marshall. The clock will continue to wind down here. 2nd down and 5 from the 31. And this will be a free play as they're going to get Ohio State off sides, and it's going to be caught. Could have ran that for quite a bit, actually, as that was Brian Robinson, number 3. That was a free play right there, if you ask me. Not sure if that's the case in college football, but that's a free play right there, if you ask me. Right? Like, honestly, that's a free play in my book. That should just be a 5-yard penalty and a 1st down here for Marshall, with 8:23 left to go here in the fourth. So now Marshall will have the snap taken at their own 36-yard line. Cole Pennington looking towards the sideline. I'm going to bring this down pretty close to 8 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Pennington in shotgun with the running back in the backfield. Takes a snap, hands it off to the running back, and the running back in none other than Ethan Payne will take the carry and the 1st down here for Marshall. Seven and a half minutes remain here as now Marshall has entered Ohio State territory. As Pennington takes the snap, hands it off again to his running back here. The running back will only get a gain of about maybe 1 or 2. That is once again going to be Ethan Payne on the carry. Second down, 8 here for Marshall. And somebody moved on that right side of the offensive line between the tackle and the defender. It's going to be a false start. So the defender for Ohio State gets bailed. It'll be a 2nd down, 13 now for Marshall. 6.5 minutes remaining. 6.5 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Marshall currently standing at their own 49-yard lines on 2nd down, 13. Play clock at 3, 2, 1. Gotta hurry up and take the snap. It should be a delay of game, but they take the snap just in time. And the carry will go for a couple yards here. For about a 3rd down and 9, so that was a gain of about 4. Third and 9 for Marshall here from Ohio State's 47-yard line. Cole Pennington still in this game. 1 of 2 so far for him for 5 yards. 3rd down and 9. Pennington takes a snap. Hands it off to the running back. 22 will not make it there. That is Melton making the tackle for this Ohio State defense. Number 17 for the defense here. 4th down and 5. And the coach is saying, you know what? Screw it. We're going to go for it again. I mean, you might as well, right? Just for the entertainment. Just for the entertainment. I mean, you might as well. Fourth down and 5. And a timeout was more than likely called by Marshall before the play clock went down to 0. And they will, in fact, call their second timeout. .453 remains here in the fourth quarter. I mean, again, we'll see if we can see Julian Sayin for a drive, the team's 3rd-string quarterback as of right now. But that's all going to be after this punt here coming from Marshall. From number 98 here from Marshall, he will boot it away down towards Brandon Innes. And this will go into the end zone for a touchback. 4:44 remaining here in the fourth quarter. And are we going to see a drive of Julian Sayin? It does not look like it. Next 5 games for Ohio State are at Michigan State, against Iowa, at Oregon, versus Nebraska, and at Penn State. Could be a bit of a tough stretch. I mean, we shall see what this Ohio State team is going to be capable of the rest of the way. 3 of those next 5 games will be on the road. Michigan State, Oregon, and Penn State will all be on the road, while Ohio State will host both Iowa and Nebraska. Devin Brown takes a snap, fires on the left side. It was almost intercepted, actually, by number 27. And another bad throw right there from Devin Brown. Something that you don't want to see from your backup quarterback if Will Howard goes down. And I get it, you have a good run game, but if the pass game has to come into play, you don't need to be making throws like that. Just give Julian Sayin a chance, coach. Just let him play a little bit. Devin Brown now under center. Devin Brown takes a snap, hands it off to James Peoples. Peoples trying to find a gap of some sort. And he'll only get a gain of 5 yards and a 3rd down and 5 coming up here for the Bucks. They're down here for the Buckeyes. 5 yards to go. Devin Brown set to go. Takes a snap. Fires down the right side. It's going to be caught for the 1st down. And Ohio State will move the chains. Andoff with the reception here for Ohio State. And we'll pick up the 1st down. Devin Brown set to go. Takes a snap in shotgun. Hands it off to Peoples. James Peoples still running. A gain of 8 yards. Second down and 2 coming up. Ryan Day likes what he sees, even though he is still a crybaby at the end of the day. Crying to the refs all the time. Devin Brown with the handoff here again. And the running back should have the first down. Once again, that was James Peoples. Here we go. Devin Brown with the pass again and is broken up, incomplete. Do believe he did try to get it to Kojo Antwi, and the pass is broken up. So now Devin Brown will be 2 of 5 for 14 yards on the day. Devin Brown set to go here. Takes the snap. Fires on the left side. Incomplete. Try to look for another one of the additions as freshman in Bryson Rogers. That'll be incomplete to make him now 2 of 6 for 14 yards with 2:40 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Go Michigan beat USC. What's your score prediction between USC and Michigan? Give me 1 second to answer that. As Devin Brown looking, evades the rush, goes forward for a couple yards. As he runs with the football, it'll be a 4th down situation. Looks like Ohio State's going to have to punt it. Honestly, my score, I mean, it's going to be a lot of run plays for Michigan. Like, that's just about a guarantee. Get ready for Khalil Mullings and Donovan Edwards to be running the ball probably like 50 times. And for Alex Orji to be running the ball too. All I know is that USC is going to win the game. I'm just saying that right now. USC is going to win this game. It might not even be close because you're going to eventually have to use the pass game, especially if you're Alex Orji, who needs to develop that arm at the collegiate level. 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Ohio State up 49-14 over Marshall. Got Michigan winning 65-0 in a blowout over USC. Please. Please. But yeah, guys, 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Ohio State's got this win in the bag pretty much. They will very well punt the football here and give it right back to Marshall. Colors of Michigan remind me of Hugh Jackman and his character Wolverine from the X-Men movies. I mean, I'm not really a movie person, to be completely honest, as sports talk, so Me personally, I wouldn't know. Because like every time I watch a movie, I'm being completely honest with myself. Every time I watch a movie, I always fall asleep, so I never get to see any of the action. It doesn't matter where I'm at, I will always fall asleep to a movie. All right, Nick McClarty now going to go ahead and punt here for the Buckeyes, and so replace Joe McGuire. The punt will be caught for a fair catch here by Metcalf. Elijah Metcalf, that would be. And minute 52 remains here in the fourth quarter, ladies and gentlemen. Love watching movies. Movies are my jam. What position does Alex Orji play on Michigan? He plays quarterback, but every play is gonna be a run with Alex Orji because he only has 3 plays in the playbook. He's only got 3 plays. Quarterback when Alex Orji's on offense, there's only 3 options, maybe 4. Checkdowns, quarterback keeper, option play, or handoff to the running back. There's only 4 options. All right? Like, come on. Michigan's offense is going to be the most predictable offense in the world today. I'm telling you right now. And Marshall just going to take a bunch of QB kneels, it looks like, because they know this game is over. Cole Pennington taking another knee. And that is pretty much going to do it here in this one, as Ohio State is officially going to beat Marshall by a final score of 49-14. Alex Orji won a national championship with Michigan in 2023 as a backup, but he wasn't the main reason why they won the national championship. We're talking about Alex Orji now taking the lead role because the Wolverines decided to bench Davis Warren for this game against USC. Like, why would you bench him in a game against USC where you want to get back up in the rankings and you want to play with probably the most predictable quarterback in your quarterback room? Like, why would you want to play against USC with the quarterback that's probably the most predictable quarterback in the country? Dana Bray Sports House, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through. Everyone, happy Saturday. Appreciate you for coming through, my guy. Hit the like button if you have not done so. Appreciate you for coming through the stream. And that's going to officially do it, ladies and gentlemen, as Ohio State is going to defeat Marshall by a final score of 49-14. And Ohio State will now move on to 3-0 through 4 weeks of the season. It is Victory Saturday here for us Ohio State fans, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. DJ McCarthy was one of the greatest Michigan Wolverines ever. I mean, that's kind of debatable. If you look back on film, he had a lot of mediocre throws. So honestly, I'm kind of debating that, if I'm saying the least. I'm honestly debating that a little bit. Like, seriously, he wasn't even the most efficient quarterback in the country. Like, he had a lot of throws that were close to being like broken up incomplete or even intercepted. But yeah, Buckeyes, you already know what it is, MC. Let's go. Now, let me just change this real quick while we're waiting for the scoreboard to update here. Because, of course, it takes forever for it to do it. Like, seriously. As I have the USC-Michigan game on right now, ladies and gentlemen. So, as soon as I get off of here, you already know what I'm watching. USC-Michigan. We'll watch Michigan get beat down today. See, Sports Talk says in 2023, McCarthy was named the Big Ten Quarterback of the Year after leading the Wolverines to a 15-0 record and national championship, the program's first since 1997. Again, I get that, but that's a team statistic right there for their first national championship since 1997. Like that's a team statistic right there. And the receivers were literally bailing out JJ McCarthy left and right. Like he had literally probably one of, if not the best wide receiver core in the country, consisting of Roman Wilson, Cornelius Johnson, Tyler Morrison, Colston Loveland, etc., etc. Even had Blake Corum in the backfield bailing him out at times. You know what I'm saying? Bleacher, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you coming through. Says go Buckeyes. You already know what it is as they do get the W 49-14 and move to 3-0 on the year. But Bleacher, appreciate you for coming through, tuning in. Hit the like button if you have not done so, my guy. Appreciate you for coming through the stream. It's a great call today. Always enjoy your insight and expertise in sports play calling. Yes, sir. Bleacher, appreciate you. Appreciate everything. Appreciate all the support everyone that has brought in here. You already know. Just give me 1 second for the stats, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to watch this play here on 4th and 1. Of course, Alex Orji gets it here for the Wolverines. Of course he does. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and go over the final stats here, and then we're going to go ahead and get out of here in this one. Starting it off on the Marshall Thundering Herd side, Stone Earl, before exiting the game, finished the night throwing 16 of 21 for 132 yards and a touchdown. Backup quarterback Braylon Braxton finished the game going 1 of 4 for 2 yards. Cole Pennington finishing the game going 1 of 2 for 5 yards. In terms of the run game, A.J. Turner leads all the runners with 7 carries for 32 yards, averaging 4.6 yards per carry. Ethan Payne, 9 carries for 31 yards, averaged 3.4 yards per carry, as well as a touchdown. Jordan Houston, 7 carries for 29 yards, 4.1 yards per carry for him. Stone Earl, 11 carries for 23 yards, averaging 2.1 yards per carry. Braylon Braxton, 2 carries for 9 yards, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. Moses Gray, 2 carries for 8 yards, averaging 4 yards per carry. And Charles Montgomery with 1 carry for -2 yards. As for the receiving group, Elijah Metcalf leading all receivers with 8 receptions for 68 yards, averaging 8.5 yards per reception, as well as a touchdown. Braylon Brown with 3 receptions for 29 yards, averaging 9.7 yards per reception. Christian Fitzpatrick with 2 receptions for 27 yards, averaging 13.5 yards per reception. Jordan Houston with a reception for 6 yards. Tytron Chapman with a reception for 5 yards. A.J. Turner with a reception for 3 yards. Brian Robinson with a reception for 2 yards. And Toby Payne with a reception for -1 yards. In terms of kick returns, Jordan Houston, number 6, with a return for 20 yards. In terms of the kicking, Reese Verhoff with 2 points, both of those being extra points. In terms of punting, Alec Clark with 7 punts for 297 yards, averaging 42.4 yards per punt, as well as number 93, Nathan Toten, with 1 punt for 47 yards. Now over to the Ohio State side now, where Will Howard finishes the day 16 of 20 for 275 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Devin Brown finishing 2 of 6 for 14 yards, in terms of the passing. In terms of the run game, Quinshon Judkins with 14 carries, 173 yards, averaging 12.4 yards per carry, as well as 2 rushing touchdowns. Travion Henderson with 6 carries for 76 yards, averaging 12.7 yards per carry, as well as 2 rushing touchdowns as well. James Peoples with 6 carries for 31 yards, averaging 5.2 yards per carry. Devin Brown with a carry for 3 yards. And Will Howard with 3 carries for -2 yards, despite having a rushing touchdown in this game. And so in terms of the receiving group, Emeka Ibuka with 5 receptions for 117 yards, averaging 23.4 yards per reception, as well as a touchdown. Freshman wide receiver Jeremiah Smith with 3 receptions for 70 yards, averaging 23.3 yards per reception, as well as a touchdown. Carnell Tate with 4 receptions for 64 yards, averaging 16 yards per reception. Quinshon Judkins getting used in the pass game a little bit. 2 receptions for 14 yards, averaging 7 yards per reception. David Adolph with a reception for 10 yards. Will Merrick with a reception for 7 yards. Brandon Ennis with a reception for 4 yards. And Jelani Thurman with a reception for 3 yards to end off the stats for the receiving. Punt returns here for the Buckeyes. Brandon Ennis with a return for 21 yards. Kicking, Jaden Fielding had 5 points on the day, all of those being extra points. There we go. Austin Snyder came into the game later on. Finishes with 2 points, both of those being extra points. Joe McGuire with 2 points for 87 yards, averaging 43.5 yards per punt. And then Nick McClarty with the punt for 30 yards. And that is how the individual statistics end here for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now into the team stats now, as Ohio State had 569 total yards in this game to Marshall's 264. Ohio State with 289 yards passing to Marshall's 139. Ohio State with 280 yards rushing to Marshall's 125. Ohio State averaging 10 yards per play to Marshall's 3.8. Ohio State had 23 first downs to Marshall's 18. Ohio State finished 4 of 8 on third down, while Marshall finished 7 of 17. Ohio State finished 1 of 1 on fourth down, while Marshall finished 1 of 2 on fourth down. Marshall with 69 total plays to Ohio State's 57. Marshall had 8 punts today, while Ohio State only had 3. Marshall had 8 penalties today, costing them 52 yards, while Ohio State had 5 penalties today, costing them 54 yards. No fumbles lost by either team. Still that same 1 interception thrown by Devin Brown to none by Marshall. And then Marshall had the ball for 36 minutes and 6 seconds, while Ohio State had the ball for 23 minutes and 54 seconds. And ladies and gents, on that note, that is how the team stats and all the stats overall come to an end here in this one. Ohio State gets the win over Marshall by a final score of 49-14, and will move to 3-0 on the regular season. And another big win for the Buckeyes, as they will be playing Michigan State next week. Again, like I told you guys, but if you guys have not heard already, the Michigan State game for Ohio State is going to be streamed on Peacock, even though it is at 7 p.m. So unless if it is being live streamed on any other channel whatsoever, we can unfortunately not do the game. But if it is being live streamed anywhere else outside of Peacock, we will be doing the game next week as well. Appreciate everybody that came through and tuned in today. We still got 3 people up in here. Appreciate all the people that went ahead and stopped by here on this live stream. And again, shout out to everybody that was up in here, ladies and gentlemen. The Eagles versus Saints preview will be out sometime later today. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to it. Probably after this USC-Michigan game at some point is when it will probably drop. But we shall see. And just some more comments here. Let's finish it up with the comments section before we get on out of here for this one. As SC Sports Talk says, Michigan went on to beat the Buckeyes 42-27 and won a Big Ten title the next week against Iowa. Michigan's first conference title since 2004. Yeah, all that just to go ahead and lose to Georgia, I think it was. So, yeah. are going to do a live play-by-play reaction for Michigan versus USC. I am not, my guys. So the only other piece of content that you will see for the remainder of the day is that preview to Eagles versus Saints tomorrow. Game is still scoreless. Draymond Green played college football. No, not college football. You have to play college basketball for Michigan State, not college football. But I get your point, though. You did go to Michigan State for college. But on that note, ladies and gents, that's pretty much going to go ahead and do it for me here in this one. Again, Ohio State able to get the W here next week against Michigan State, but they will have to go to their house to go ahead and get the job done there. On that note, ladies and gents, no, he did play college football. Okay. So he played college football, but then decided to play basketball when he came into the pros. Okay. But on that note, ladies and gents, that's pretty much going to go ahead and do it for me here in this one. Be sure to like and subscribe if you guys have not done so, ladies and gents. And I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out. The Buckeyes win. Let's go. Peace, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. God bless and peace. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, let's go Bucks!